If Toya, you're new here to YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button, the like button, share because you care, and always comment below. This is a beautiful Saturday morning. We're going to discuss Neville Goddard's book, Feeling is the Secret. I'm streaming on TikTok as well, where we have the panel available for callers to come in and discuss the book. Chapter 2 of Neville Goddard's book, Feeling is the Secret. We're on chapter 2. The chapter is called Sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. It's all about manifestation, how to manifest your desired outcomes, the life that you want to have in this reality. Come with me. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all. As we start this beautiful discussion. Hello, Plotter, aka Walter. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, are you familiar with Neville Goddard's book, The Feeling is the Secret? That's what we'll be discussing this morning. We're doing our book club. We have these book clubs at least 3 to 4 times a year since we started. Maybe a little less than that, maybe about 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, great. Good to hear. Oh, did she? Okay, Dolores Candace. So you read her materials too? I've seen her videos. I never really got into her books. My husband used to listen to her books though. Thank you. So I'm just waiting for the peeps to get on up in here on TikTok so we can start our discussion. It started at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So give people a moment to come on in. You can talk manifestation, specifically Neville Goddard's perspective on manifestation, and sleep being one of the portals used to impress your belief upon you, whether you're calling it impressing the subconscious mind, whether you're just setting your intention during the night, you're connecting and embodying the state of the being that says, I am that, recognizing that you are already that what you're desiring to be, and it just comes with a decision. And then maintain the state. Don't let it go. Just detach from the old state that tells you no. Nice. Hello, Manifestation 9462. Great. Yes, we're discussing chapter 2 this morning. We discussed chapter 1 last week. You can find the recap or the replay on YouTube. I have it in a playlist on YouTube for this brilliant book by Neville Goddard. Good morning. Welcome. Hello, good morning. Welcome.
I want to just say good morning, with the hard copy since I'm up here, okay?
Good morning, Miss Teddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I came up, but I'm not going to be first in order because I got to put a little something in my belly while we're doing this, and I'm going to drink a cup of coffee.
Oh, okay. No problem. Thank you for joining, though.
This will be my only join. I'm joining because I promise you this. I will always join you this week. That's
okay. I appreciate that. This week. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, Plotter, no, I was not a pastor. I was married to a preacher. I was a Sunday school teacher. Actually, I left Christianity almost 20 years ago. It was just because of contradictions and some research I was doing. That's what made me leave Christianity. I didn't discover his teachings till like 2018, but I had left Christianity around 2007, 2008. So, yeah. Oh, no, you good. It's okay. You're good. Yeah, that's fine. No, it's okay. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you?
Good morning, Toya. Good morning, Miss Teddy. I'm great. Glad to be here this morning.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Good morning.
Just waiting a couple of minutes to see who else gonna come on through and share their perspective. Hey, happy Saturday, I Am Town. This morning we're having a book discussion. The book that we're discussing, Feeling is the Secret. We're not speaking on Christianity today. I mean, although it may tie into the messaging, because Neville Goddard definitely does quote scripture when teaching his belief system, his law of assumption, which is this law of belief, mind, science, psychology. It's all the same thing. We just, Oh, cool. That's good, Plotter. Divine Day, Big C. Hello, welcome. Oh, you did I Am Town? Cool. Say reverence of knowing. That's it. Knowing who you are, knowing the truth of your being, understanding that your thoughts are things. The creative power in man is the mind. Some people call it consciousness, awareness. Whatever you want to call it, that's what it shall be. Just understanding how to, play this game of life, because life is a game. And the field is the mind, and maintaining the state of the thing that you want and knowing what you want. So, but I'm not going to hold us too much. Let me continue to double tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Hey, Latoxic. Come on up, Latoxic. Say the mind, consciousness, pineal, all very important. Yeah, you are frequency. That's all. You can change your frequency. That's it. And your frequency is just what you frequently see. And it's not what you see outwardly, it's what you see inwardly. Because your frequency is what you frequently see. It's your attention to a thing. Your attention is the sap of life. Good morning, Miss Tox. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, great. Thank you.
Good. It's a happy Saturday, period.
Happy Saturday. Yes. It's a beautiful day. Although it's been raining. It's supposed to rain all day today. Oh, that rain was coming down. Woo! Heavy.
Definitely want to hear.
Yeah. Good morning, Magnetic. Good morning. Welcome. Come on in. Please come and join if you have, you're interested in discussing the book. That's what the panel is for discussing the book. We're not here to argue over people's beliefs. Not today. Maybe on another day, but not today.
Yeah, let's please keep it cute on this Saturday.
We're discussing Neville Goddard's book, Feeling is the Secret. Hey, Miss Kitty. Miss Diane, divine morning. Right, you said maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I know, right? On the Lord's Day, as they like to say, we'll discuss on the Lord's Day. Oh, but it'll probably be later in the day because I got a brunch to go to tomorrow. So it won't be during the day. All right, well, let's get started. Come on up, y'all. Come on up to the panel while we discuss Neville Goddard's second chapter, Sleep. So I know Miss Teddy says she's getting some yummy in her tummy. So we'll start with Miss Cheryl. You can unmute.
Darn.
You said darn.
Can you hear me?
You don't want to go first?
Yes.
You're funny.
Yeah, it's okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, it's nice sometimes, just to hear other people's input because then it kind of gets my wheels going. But I'll go first. And what this chapter made me think of, because, I never really I wasn't into the state akin to sleep. It can take me a long time to fall asleep. So laying in bed, like trying to replay one scene over, it just started to cause like resistance.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you ever heard the story that Neville tells when he's sharing how he was driving like a 2-hour ride with some woman or something, and the whole time they're driving, like she's just talking bad about people and just very negative.
That's funny. I just heard that recently.
He says something like she planted 75. Really? And he makes a comment about how she created a lifetime of bad experiences from those thoughts.
Yeah.
And this chapter just made me think of all the times though, like I have fallen asleep angry, like having arguments or entertaining my anxieties, and like just all the seeds I planted unknowingly.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, like not in a, like, I guess I felt a little sad about it, but also like it makes me very grateful for the power of the awareness, because you can't change, what you're not aware of. And this chapter really made me think a lot about like the importance of really, it's a responsibility that you have to yourself, or that's kind of how I see it now is, how am I going to think? What am I thinking about in those moments, like especially at sleep when the mind is becoming very impressionable, the subconscious. So it made me think a lot about how I've known about this law for a long time, but it's really taken time to really value and take accountability for the implications of it. And I think part of it too is just like the more I become aware of, the more, as my consciousness expands, I can, I see a bigger picture too. So I guess it's like being, remembering to be kind of kind with myself, that it has been a process. But again, that story came to mind about like how often like I would just plant horrible seeds and then be, not be surprised like how my life was shaping up, So it was it's a good chapter, because at first I was thinking I wasn't going to get a lot out of it because I don't do state akin to sleep, but I just think he's really talking about how just to guard that, guard your thoughts, be aware, especially like at sleep time, because your mind is that's such an impressionable time. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of the thoughts I had about it.
Wonderful. Thank you for your input. Yep. I do. It's funny. Yep. I forgot which lecture I was listening to that he was speaking of the lady, and and he said at the end she's talking about bless her heart. So after she just came down on the woman, had all this negative thoughts about the lady, and he was like, it's gonna take her a lifetime for all of those seeds to harvest.
Yeah, and just a side note, like I think a couple weeks ago you might have been talking about this, like people think they're cursed. Like I literally started at times in my life, I wonder, like, do I have some family curse on me? Like, because I was constantly ruminating on how bad my luck was, and how, it's just funny, like the different ways, you try to find an answer and it's right in front of your nose,
right there the whole time. Yep. It's just about taking your power back and just being intentional about what you're thinking and giving your attention to. That's all. I know we sometimes get down on ourselves and we make it real heavy when we need to like really lighten up. But I used to listen to Bashar. I love when he said that the whole point of enlightenment was to lighten up. Right? That's the whole point. That's why you come into this realization or awareness, is so you can remove the heaviness of life. Even though I know some people may be experiencing some heavy things, but are you personally? And a lot of times, no, we're making mountains out of molehills. A lot of times it's like, all you got to do is just shift your attention. It's really that simple. But we've been so trained into thinking the worst. We've been so conditioned to, don't get too happy, or even what does happiness even look like for a lot of people, right? Or what is joy? What do these words even mean? Like, how do you even, you know, um expound upon or even explain those states of awareness? So, and it's really whatever it means to you. It really doesn't matter what it means to the world or society. It's really what it means to you personally. That's really what it is. And so we'll go to Miss Tox. Hello. You can
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm with Cheryl. Like I the whole sleep thing, like I totally get why he says it, and I've actually been trying to be better about deliberately how I go to sleep, like not leaving things on, like TV shows on and things like that. So I've actually it was just actually funny. I've found really, really peaceful sleep when I listen to Neville Goddard's lectures while I sleep. Not sure why that is. I don't know if it's just like voice or what, but so I've been trying to be more deliberate about that. What I liked was that he brought in that scripture, choose ye this day whom you shall serve. And I'm kind of the mindset that like I don't really feel like sleep has that much power over, again, I fight with the whole concept of like the subconscious being the thing. All right.
Mhm,
I do think that people can consciously change
Yeah.
their mindsets and then their lives based on a conscious decision they make.
mhm.
Although I understand like there's like, sometimes you don't know sometimes you don't know why you're experiencing something.
Mhm.
But I don't think that's a reason why it can't be changed, if that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah.
That's
And
where my mind
and I
goes.
just think it's the terminology.
Yeah,
Because someone will say subconscious mind, someone else will say imagination, right? Because like I said, I think Feeling the Secret, maybe his earlier books is where he talks to subconscious, but if you listen to him regularly, he really talks about the subconscious mind. If once you kind of move past his earlier books, because he decided to call God the imagination. So, and he's just saying that the sleep, just like you say, decision is a portal. He's basically saying so sleep can also be a portal into the
I
imagination.
agree. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
it can be. I just don't ever.
But
think
is
of
it necessary? Again, we keep making all these rules as if they are etched in stone when the only law is belief, right? It's whatever you are accepting as true will be true for you. So we could say, well, this is more powerful, or this is more powerful, or this is more powerful. It's only whatever you say. If you think this thing is the thing that is powerful and the most for you, then it will be for you. Does that make it true for everyone? No, because you are the operant power of your experience. It's your experience. So you fiddle faddle, you test over here, you mess with that over there, right? And then you see what works. Because at the end of the day, it's about what works, not who's right. Right? And a lot of times people would rather be right than be happy. Rather try to figure out, is my way, is my way, as opposed to it's always going to be your way, because your I am is the way. It is literally whatever you say.
Yep.
So
And I hate to break for this particular PSA. If you're someone who's coming up to debate, this is not the live for that. T has already said this once before. Please don't make us say it again. If you're not interested in discussing this book, then don't come up on the panel. If you want to discuss manifestation, feel free to come up on the panel. But if you're trying to debate or you want to have a conversation about that, this is not the live. We're not going to let you up. We're probably going to mute you and maybe block you. So let's keep it cute so you don't catch a block. Okay? I'm trying to be cool. So let's leave it at that.
Right. I'm sure it's other lives you can go attend to.
The Thinkers Live is on like 24/7. If you want to go argue about Christianity, her live and other people in her circle's lives are on literally 24/7. 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of lives. So find your piece over there. We're trying to discuss a book here.
We are discussing a book over here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Plotter says on YouTube, whenever I make a mistake, I say to myself out loud, do I need that thought in my future? Then I tell myself that I don't need it. And then I'm always learning. It helps me in good awareness. That's, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Good morning, DNA Mindset Matters. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And let's get the likes up, y'all. Let's step to 10K at the very minimum. I know we're doing chill live today, but let's keep the likes going for people who might be interested in this content.
Oh, yep. I like this statement. Plotter says the main thing in the Bible that always popped to me was, it isn't what goes into a man's stomach that defines him, but what comes from his mouth. This is one of the truest statements ever said. That's it. And that's what, if people think it's all about what you put in the body, nope, it's what comes out of your mouth. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So that's what the Bible's trying to tell you. Fasting had nothing to do with physical eating, although that can be a benefit. I'm not saying there's no benefit there, but the Bible is a psychological book. It's telling you to fast from the limitations, the fears, the negativity, the impossibilities. Thank you, Marcendo. Grand Rising. Did you have, was that all that you want to share?
That was the general thing.
Okay.
I mean, I find it's helpful for me. Like we were doing the 21-day challenge. It's helpful for me to actually sit and meditate. That's what's helpful for me to like imagine the state and the feeling. Because by the time I'm sleepy, I'm like, I'm gonna try not to think of anything bad, but I mean, like,
I'm off to dreamland, right?
Yeah,
I'm off to the dream world. I'm just like, let it do what it's going to do. Let it do what it's going to do. Yeah.
like it's interesting things that come up, you know, but it's like, I'm not like, I don't believe that like it's working behind the scenes to like bring something to fruition. I believe that my waking life is just enough. Like I think to me, it's like that time is the time for my body to sleep and repair. And to like, yeah, I'm going to imagine all kinds of crazy things, but like, that's the time for my body to actually be at rest. Right. And so I don't need it to be working for me behind the scenes. So that's how I think of it. But yeah.
I got it. Oh, I love
I hear
that.
his point though.
Yeah,
I hear
yeah,
his point.
Yeah.
You know, I love, of course, my favorite, you know, there's so many good, you know, things that he's brought up, especially like signs follow, they don't proceed.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite sayings from him. And it's just helpful to remember that I'm not reacting, I'm creating. Like I'm not reacting to the outer world, quote unquote. I am creating it. So I get to choose. You know, so I always love that.
Absolutely.
So lots of good stuff in here.
Yes. Love it. So I want to read something that from the first paragraph. He says, our understanding of and delight in what sleep has to bestow will cause us night after night to set out for it as though we were keeping an appointment with a lover. Then he quotes Job. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon man and slumbering upon the bed, then he opens the ears of men and seals their instruction. And I just believe it's just a happening. A lot of times, a lot of teachers to me try to make it sound, because as much as they say we don't make something happen, sometimes they kind of insinuate that we are making something happen. But no, the sleep state is a happening. And if your higher self wish to give you some type of important information during that time, because it never sleeps or slumbers, right? Because you know your body is still at work, even though it appears to be at rest. We know it's never at rest because the heart doesn't stop beating, right? You just become unconscious to the body during sleep, right? You're unconscious to this current reality you drifted off into a deep sleep with. So you just became unconscious of what's going on. And some people during sleep those different dimensions can come together, right? And you can become aware of what's going on in that other dimension that you went to sleep in, or you can be aware of this current dimension, right? You can be told the future, right? Like sometimes that information does come to you during that time, but it doesn't have to come in the sleep state, right? It can also come during visions of the day. It can come through an intuition, a revelation. Like there is no set time that your higher self can communicate to the lower self, which is your logical mind. So I think that's the only difference, is that conception of two natures, right? But we are two natures. We are the lower and the higher. There are some things that our lower mind just doesn't, we don't know the how of things taking place until after it happens. Then we become aware. But sometimes you are given a preview to what can take place in a future reality. But here's the thing, you can repent. If you have a dream and you don't like what you're seeing, you can repent. Even if you have a dream and you like what you're seeing, if you don't accept the reality of it, it can still not come to pass too. Because you can abort you being the operating power, you can cancel, you can change the future. That's the ability that we have, because when you become conscious of your reality, is the ability to change it, to think differently about it, whether good, better, and different. That's the ability you have. That's the beauty of it too. So even though we talk about different teachers in different ways, we know that we are always becoming more super aware of our abilities that we have. And do we have to take one person's, outlook or perspective as law? No. You're the law of your own experience. You are the author and finisher of your faith. It is your I am that is leading and guiding you, right? That is the awareness within you that is taking you to the expected end you desire to have. And so next we'll have Miss Kitty. Grand Rising. Good morning.
Good morning. I was just scrolling through the chapter looking for the points that caught me, and there were two. You are an eternal dreamer, dreaming non-eternal dreams. I just thought I liked the way that sounded.
Yes.
And I like the last sentence in the chapter. Sleep is the door into heaven. What you take in as a feeling, you bring out as a condition, action, or object in space. So sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, as in consciousness, so on earth. For me, my experience is I agree with that. However, I find my power or sweet spot is in the mornings when I wake up. Is when I can really get into that feeling of the wish fulfilled at night, and actually visualize, especially if I just lay there and let it come to me. It's like it finds me and I go, oh, okay, there it is. Whereas when I'm going to sleep, I just go to sleep. Mm-hmm. Maybe 5 minutes after my head hits the pillow, if that long. I'm asleep.
Okay.
I'm asleep. I don't languish I don't toss and turn. I just go to sleep. However, in the past, as a younger woman and just caught up in life's drama and not knowing any better, and even as a child, I wept a lot when I was going to sleep. That's where I took my sadness. And I see if I reflect and go back, how my life demonstrated that feeling. So now I know better it resonates with me reading his words when he says, go to sleep in a state fulfilled. Even in that 5 minutes that it might take me, I know now to consciously just go to sleep with the wish of the feeling fulfilled, not trying to visualize anything, mm-hmm. Right? Just getting into that state of complete peace and happiness and appreciation for everything that I love being outpictured in my world. And just go to sleep on that, not trying to figure it out or see it, just the state. Because also I know in my happiest times when I fall asleep, I'm falling asleep, grinning almost, because life is so good. I'm so happy. So that's what I want to share.
Love it. Love it. In a state of the wishful field. That's it.
It's just a state.
Yeah.
You just drop into the state. And now for me, and I think for those who it doesn't resonate for, to be trying to visualize, just drop into the state of, of joy and peace in your fatigue as you fall asleep, And I think that's just a synopsis of it for me. That's liberating and helpful for me to understand, for it to be crystallized like he did in the book within that chapter. So yeah, I appreciate his words and him sharing that idea. But I too, I can't. I be trying. Last night I was trying to visualize, and I'm like, oh my God, And the next thing I know, I'm sleeping, dreaming, and it's not in alignment with what I'm trying to fall asleep with. I'm having visions, because I'm having these dreams, but it's not the dream of my wish. It's the dream of whatever's playing out in my subconscious from the day. Because generally, I imagine that's what dreams are about. Whatever because I dream, and they're prolific and vibrant, but they don't always make sense, especially as I'm going to sleep. Walking along, you trip. It's like, where's walking along the saloon steps? Horses tied up. What is this?
The most strangest things. It sometimes it just be the most unbelievably, like, this would never happen in this reality. Like, what is going on?
Right.
I'm like, I'm tight roping down steps. Like, what am I tight roping down steps? Like, what? So you think it may be some symbolic, right? Because that's how they say the universe communicates, through symbolism.
Right.
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 So.
Right. But I still can't catch it because I'm going to sleep.
Right. That part.
Yeah. So, not forget about it. Just fall asleep in the state.
Yeah.
And go to sleep. Just go to bed. You prepare for bed. As you're preparing for bed, you're preparing, you pretend that, my life is great and wonderful. I got so much money in the bank. I'm so happy and grateful. Whatever it is, everything is going great at my job. Life is good. And you just go to sleep as you're bathing and everything and doing what you need to do to get in bed. And when your head hits the pillow, go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Enjoy it. Yeah.
Right.
You will get sweet sleep.
Yep, you'll get sweet sleep.
Your mind stayed on Jesus. Who's Jesus? I am. Remember, he's like, your mind stayed on Jesus. Do you remember that in church?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Mind stayed on Jesus.
That's what they used to tell us. Plotter says, I am living proof that a mindset can change. I used to be an angry ex-soldier with PTSD, bitter and volatile. I changed myself after researching all of this. Best thing I've ever done. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you, thank you. Yep. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Said that the awakening was this year. It all kind of happened at once. So I still can explain it to folks. I know, but I never felt the need to. Nice. I love that. I love that. I love that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Said, well, hello, Miss Teddy. Are you ready to commune with us?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I enjoyed this chapter because sleep. Well, number one, I have a strong, I don't know if the word is belief, but I know dreams are powerful. I'll leave it like that. My dreams, they just can be powerful. It just the whole idea of dreaming amazes me. That's always been something I've researched into. And dreaming only comes. The kind of dreaming I'm speaking of, your sleep dream, only comes after sleep, as you go to sleep. And that's what we're talking about today. So I say that to say, out of all, like, there's so many powerful tools that never gives us, to come to this. And this one here, I found just is so powerful. And again, not just powerful, this is personal. So fueling my inspiration to continue to change some things, because I am the one that will fall asleep with my iPad in my hand. I will fall asleep on live media, listening to all kind of whatever. That, I'm just saying, I will do that. I will fall asleep with the TV on. So I really, and there's many times that has been impressionable on my sleep, on my dream. So of course, if it's doing that, it's got to be dealing with my psyche, just how I'm feeling, even if you're aware of it or you're not aware of it. I also heard, and I can't see the names on my thing, but the young lady who spoke first, Toya, what's her name?
Cheryl.
Her, when she was saying about fear, I think he mentioned something in there. He said, don't, not fear so much, like unaccomplishments or something, like he said, don't never fall asleep. I like that. Like, don't never fall asleep with that feeling of not being good enough, or, not being accomplished enough, and that kind of stuff. So I found that real good. And like Miss Kitty, that was so interesting, because that's the one I actually went to my chat GPT, because I just wanted a breakdown to make sure I understood it right, about we're eternal dreamers having non-eternal dreams. And I was like, wow. In other words, that God that we always was and always will be, will always dream. We are that is the dreamer. But these dreams we're necessarily having aren't always forever. And they're just a dream. So we just use them for our experience, while we're here in that state. So I thought, I like this chapter a lot. Sleep and dreams are something to me. I'm gonna let everybody else talk, and if we're on here long enough, I'll come back and share a dream I had one time. Not long, but it was so powerful that it was with me all day, as if it had really, really happened. I almost had to slap myself to make myself remember. No, that's not true. You dreamed that. Okay.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful, beautiful. And so next we have Mr. Kevin. Hello, Grand Rising, Rich Rising.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Happy Saturday.
This chapter to me was, I like the input everybody shared, the various, perspectives of the dream state, the sleep state. I know we call people who are in the system, so to speak, we call those people still asleep. They haven't woken to the knowledge of who they are yet. That's one aspect. I looked at the chapter under that preview. And I also looked at it as, because I grew up being aware of the subconscious mind. Meaning, I felt the subconscious mind doesn't have a sense of humor. And because I felt that way, I was sensitive of what I would tell myself, because I knew the subconscious mind, without judgment, would bring it forth. Whether it was a wanted desire or whether it was an unwanted desire. I had to pay attention to my thoughts, because my subconscious, which I know we're talking about sleep, the subconscious doesn't sleep. It's always taking in the seeds of your thoughts. Your subconscious is constantly, forever fertile. So your thoughts that's being fed to your subconscious mind, all the subconscious needs to do is do what it's supposed to do, is to bring it forth. I remember a conversation with my stepdad a week ago. Excuse me. And he mentioned how 10% of your frontal cortex of your brain is conscious, and 90%, the rest of it is subconscious. You know, it's kind of weird to me that he brought that up, because he is the last person I would think would ever bring something like that up, because we have such a dynamic opposite, opposing belief system. Meaning he's Christian, which is what he leans into heavily. And so I understand where he's coming from, because I used to be Christian as well before my awakening from my sleep. And I see him as in a deep sleep. I mean, like really snoring in his Christianity beliefs. But I get it. I mean, I get it. And it made me wonder whether, you know, when is the people eventually, we know that they will eventually awaken. It may be in our lifetime, or it may be in the next, who knows? It's not up to us, it's up to them. But they're really telling us more about ourselves than we think that they're telling us about them. Our subconscious mind, prior to the awakening, was just something we didn't really care to think about or give much weight to. When our imagination, once we have this awakeness of consciousness, our imagination, we understand the relevancy and the importance of our imagination, that we're actually living or eating the fruits of our imagination. So the sleep state is the state that can, in my opinion, the sleeping state doesn't necessarily activate once you consciously go to sleep. The sleep state, in my opinion, can happen through any time during the day. I've had people say they saw some numbers, or fell asleep and dreamt they saw some numbers and woke up and played those numbers. I've heard people say they were somewhere, I don't know, at the park or wherever in their life, and they saw some numbers. They had a, what do you call it? It's not an epiphany. They had a vision or something. And they would see these numbers and they would play them. And they would hit. I've heard people, my grandmother, she's no longer here, but she saw her daughter, my aunt, being shot. And it came to pass. It happened. And I've had dreams where they seem surreal to me. And then I wake up either in a sweat, or, nobody couldn't tell me that thing didn't just happen. And I woke up like there was a dream where I guess I was 18 years old, 18, still living with my mom. And I was laying on my back. I woke up and I couldn't move. I couldn't move any of my limbs. I couldn't move anything. But my eyes were open and I could look around my bedroom. And because I couldn't move, I wanted to yell out for my mom, who I knew was in the house, to come to me. But I couldn't speak. And I'm like, I had no idea. I didn't know what to do. So I tried with all the strength that I could muster up in me to sit up on the side of the bed. And once I sat up on the side of the bed, I rested for a moment and then mustered up enough strength to walk to the door and to open the door to my bedroom so I could yell for my mom to come assist me. When I got to the door, opened the door, I blinked. And when I blinked, I was laying back in the bed on my back in the exact same position I started in. And now I'm lucid and I could get up, move around, blah, blah, blah. And that was just the strangest thing to me. So, like, was that just a dream? I'm asking rhetorically. I'm not asking somebody to analyze it. But sleep is something I feel that can be done in a conscious or unconscious state. I feel like you can move from that conscious to subconscious back to conscious at will. Okay, that you don't have to be in a state of conscious sleep. You can be at a state of not being distracted, of being in a state of meditation and focus. When you meditate, when I meditate anyway, I don't sleep. I'm sitting up. I'm at rest, and I tune everything out. And I'm only aware of that which I'm aware, which is inward of me. So I doubt that's what Neville Goddard was focusing on when he talked about sleep, but I was just trying
he
to
talks about sleep being able to. He says it maybe not in this book, but he definitely talks about. He didn't call it lucid dreaming though, but he would just say that you could, be in one place, your body be physically here, and then you can be seen in California by someone else. So he would do that type of thing with his family or what have you. So he definitely talked about it. He just didn't use the terminology we use today, or some people call it lucid dreaming, or what do they call it? I've got the other terminology that people use about being able to see, having these out of body experiences,
right,
and being able
astral projecting.
Yeah, astral projecting, right? Yeah, he didn't use that terminology, but that's what he would talk about that a lot too. Just using your mind, or training your mind, right, to do all of these things, because it is powerful, and understanding there is no over there is no quote unquote time, all is now. And that's how you can be in two places at once, right? Your body could be here, but your physical body could be here, and then you could be seen as another body in another place. Right. So, right. You can't be two places at once, when actually you can't be two places at once. You could probably be many places at once, depending on how, aligned you are or in tune you are with your psychic abilities. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He doesn't go into it in here because this book is basically about manifesting. So he's telling you how to manifest.
It makes me think about when he talked about Abdul, when he wanted to be in Barbados, and he went to I think it was Abdullah, mm-hmm. his teacher, mm-hmm. and he wanted to say or talk to him about being in Barbados. They knocked on his door, and his teacher opened the door and says, "You are in Barbados," and slammed the door back. Now, some can read that and say, okay, I was rude, right? But his point was, you are in the state of where your belief lies. He was in Barbados, and he didn't need affirmation from his teacher to say he was in Barbados. When he embodied mentally being in the place where he desired to be, there he was. And as it came, he ended up being in Barbados. So what that says to us, whether it's in a sleeping state or whether it's in a lucid state, you are where you think you are. You're exactly where you think you are. You have not because you imagine not. Imagining and asking or demanding, it to me is synonymous. Praying, I've been on both sides where praying in the church tells me to, I've joined hands with everybody in church. I came up in front of at the podium and do a congregational prayer and lead the entire church in prayer. And I've had prayer where it's just the communication between me and my higher self. And the one that's been the most fruitful was the communication between me and my higher self. When the Bible says pray without ceasing, to me, that means be in constant communication with your higher self. And that's prayer to me. And you can pray whether you're asleep, consciously asleep, or where you're consciously awake. That's praying without ceasing. And that what you think you are, you are. You're always right. You're always right. Whether you think you can, whether you think you can't, you are always right. Whether you say this is wrong, okay, you're right in saying that's wrong to you. If you're saying this is right, yes, that is right to you. We're all experiencing our own individual reality. That's why me and someone can look at the exact same thing and have two different perspectives and outcomes related to the same experience. I'll land my plane.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for the share. Love it, love it, love it. Sleep. You can see there's a portal. You could just see just something that's just taking place as you rest. It's really up to you how you want to discern it, decipher it, or experience it. And Neville's just saying it can be utilized to help manifest. Hello, Mr. Freddie Jackson. How are you? You can unmute.
Oh, and happy Saturday. Fun topic. I'm enjoying the conversation, but I'm gonna be short though. But I had the book in my car, and when you was talking, I said, "Wow, interesting." So everybody coming, I'm enjoying it, and it's real. I'm looking at page 26, and it talks about the night after night should assume the feeling, the being having, what is that which are seeking. And it talks about never go to bed discouraged, dissatisfied, or failure. Always believe that it's always there. And it talks about the subconscious mind, believe it, that it would happen if you believe it, And I mean, it's real though. A lot of stuff I go to bed and I think about it, the next couple of days it'll happen. Somebody I think about, they end up calling me, I mean, the mind is very powerful. it's very powerful. We don't know how powerful our minds really are. So but knowing God, I mean, he talks about it a lot. And I noticed something, a lot of Bible scriptures all up in this book too. A lot of Bible scriptures in this book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy when the gym talk about the Barbados. I heard that the other day, and I said, wow, phenomenal. Yeah, I'm gonna lay my plane. So when I saw it, I said, wow. I went and got it out of my car.
Mhm.
I said, But I had a dream, and I've had it before. I had my uniform on,
Mm-hmm.
and I did have my gun, and a criminal looked at each other, and it was a dream. And I said, what's this trying to tell me? We just stared at each other. That was the dream. I didn't want to have that dream though. But it was just obvious that happened, and it never happened until I had my uniform on and I didn't have my weapons. But that was crazy though. So, but it's a great topic, and I'm just continuing to listen. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining. Yes, Mr. Walter. Glad you found the channel as well. Thank you for your engagement, your support, participation on YouTube. Appreciate you. Neville says, nations as well as people are only what you believe them to be. No matter what the problem is, no matter where it is, no matter whom it concerns, you have no one to change but self. And you have neither opponent nor helper to bringing about the change within yourself. That's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to. We can easily fall back into that mindset of thinking that someone is doing something to me, right? Someone hurt me. Someone doesn't understand me. Someone's out to get me, to harm me, to do ill will to me, or someone is doing, being so kind, and someone is being so nice, and someone is being so helpful. At the end of the day, it's all your perspective. It's how you're perceiving the reality. You're always the author of your faith. It's always, you're the producer, author, director, as well as the star of the show. And you get to decide who shows up, meaning what roles will be played out in your movie. You don't necessarily get to dictate who's going to play the role. A lot of time we don't know that. That's why we hear in the world, society says you are hurt by who? The ones you love, right? Because those are the ones that's most close to you. Those are the ones playing roles in your reality. But the only reason why they can quote unquote hurt you is because you have the belief that you can be hurt. You have the belief that someone can do you wrong or do you dirty or mistreat you or mishandle you or not support you or not understand you. You have to change the narrative. You have to stop thinking that the world is against you and understand that the world only supports you because the world is you. You are the world. And so when you understand that the world is just you're projecting onto the screen the space, which means you're only seeing what's happening within you. And so if you don't like what you're seeing out there, it's because you don't like what's going on within here. And the moment you decide to look at the world from a place of love, of purity, as the script says, we're to be in the state where eyes too pure to behold iniquity. To them that are pure, all things are pure. It gets diluted through your assumptions. You dilute the power of love, of peace, of joy through your diluted lens. You decide, you wrote into the script, life is hard, life is difficult, things never go my way. Whenever I want something, I get the opposite of what I ask for. Things never go right. I can't be too happy. And you start saying all these things and then wondering why you're experiencing it, because you are the operant power. You're always decreeing and declaring what life should be, whether in your waking state or your sleeping state. Right? Now, Neville Goddard will have us to believe that the 1/3 time spent in sleep is more powerful than the 2/3 spent awake. To argue over that. You can debate that because not everybody would necessarily would agree with his perspective on that, right? Because he does have the technique that he well, he didn't come up with the technique, but the technique he shared, SATS, state akin to sleep. He didn't originate that technique. Him and Dr. Joseph Murphy talking about it, and I think Dr. Joseph Murphy said where it came from, and I believe it came from a French psychologist or something, or wherever where it came, where psychologists recognize that when you get in this sleepy, drowsy state and you can imagine a thing to be, that it's all about that self-hypnotizing, right? Another thing, back in the day used to call it mesmerization, because I know Dr. Joseph Murphy was studied this one guy called Quimby. Quimby was supposed to be this well-renowned healer that was saying that most of the ills and diseases and things that people were experiencing were all coming from the mind. And so the psychologists came to the realization, if you want that logical mind to get in line, you have to be kind of drowsy. You have to be kind of like not lucid. So you're not arguing with yourself over what you can and cannot have. So that's why they say, well, use sleep or use that technique, state akin to sleep. So the reasoning part of you cannot argue with the part of you that says, I am this or I am that. You want to bypass the logical reasoning mind that tries to figure it out, produces the doubt, manifests the fear, brings forth the negativity. Because the subconscious mind, that part of the womb of creation, the I am of you, the higher self of you, the deeper you, whatever you want to call it, never argues. It's not going to challenge your beliefs. It's not going to say, well, you shouldn't be thinking that. Or why would you be thinking that way? Or, this is going to, it's not going to question you. It's always going to, it's the genie in the bottle that says, your wish is my command. What would you have me do for you? And if you say, well, woe is me, life is just so hard, it's just so difficult. Every time I want something good, something bad has to happen. Say, oh, really? I got you. Every time you want something good, something bad has to happen. Oh, you think you have to be tested and tried before you get a thing? I got you. Oh, you think that life is whatever you say. But if you start to say, light and easy is the way, everything is always working out for me, I'm content, I'm satisfied in all things. I have learned to be what? Content. That's what Paul reminds us, right? In all things. Say rejoice. And again, I say rejoice. You have Neville quoting the script about entering the gates with thanksgiving, the course with praise, right? Having a certain type of mindset when it comes to your desires, being thankful and joyful, like loving life. Like that's what we're commanded to love life, to love yourself, which causes you to love others. Why? Because the others are you. There's no separation. Yes, everything happens in my favor. So it's all about what you're commanding your reality. And you can call it whatever you want. You call it subconscious mind. You can call it the higher self, the deeper self, the Lord, whatever you want to call it. Because we know the conscious mind, or that reasoning mind, people call the ego, right? And they say, oh, you got to die to the ego. The ego must experience that. The ego has they've made the ego the enemy. And remember, there's no enemies other than your inner me. And why would you make the enemy your enemy? Why would you make any part of you to be an offense to you? But people love a villain. We have been birthed and conditioned into villains because everybody want to be somebody's superhero, right? Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to, right? We always looking for the battle of the states. Satan versus God. The devil versus Jesus. Lex Luthor versus is Superman, right? The Joker versus Batman. It's always a battle. When the script tells you there is no battle, you already won. The battle is over. You're not supposed to be fighting. No warring, no warring. Yeah, antagonist. Yep. Everybody want, yep. You're supposed to do what? Stand still. Be still. Be still and what? Know what? That I am God. Stand still what? And see the salvation. But that's why we're commanded to, you can't be conformed to this world. You have to be what? Transformed. The world will tell you to fight, 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 fight. What did Christ say? Put down that sword, Peter. Put down the sword. You there's no reason to fight. There are no enemies. You have no enemies. When the Bible speaks about the carnal mind being enmity towards the spirit, it's telling you that it has no causality. Nothing can oppose God. It's not saying that it's like an enemy of the state that needs to be wrestled down and, no, it's telling you that your external world, the thing you see, has no power. It has no causality. It is the effect. It is just a projection of what has been impressed. The impression must be made manifest. And it always is. As within, so without. What's going on within you is what you see outside of you. And if you don't like what you see outside of you, you have to change what's going on within you. That's why I said there's no one to change but self. You're too busy trying to change this person and change this person, trying to get somebody to understand, getting somebody to see your perspective, trying to convince another person of what's going on. When all you are supposed to be doing is talking to you. Get yourself in order. Come in with thy own self upon thy bed and be still. The conversation is always between you and you. It's never between you and another. Because the other you see is just your perspective. It's your assumptions about them. Had you had different assumptions about them, you would have a different experience. Isn't that beautiful to know the power is all within you? For a lot of us, that's too much to bear. We're like, hold up, wait a minute, wait a minute. I do not want to be responsible for how another person treats me. Right? That's what we say. We do not. I am not taking that responsibility. They're responsible for their own actions and they know better. They know better than to do that and than to treat me like that. And do they really know better? Or is it because or do you know better? Do you know better? Do you know better to not think like that? Do you know better to think this way, says Paul? Think whatever so is lovely, pure, honest, noble, virtue, praiseworthy, and of good report. Or that's how you're thinking? Because if you were thinking that way, you would never think ill of another. You would say, well, why am I thinking like that? Not why are they doing that? Why do I see it that way? Because we must understand what we're seeing is what we're thinking. Us being the operating power, we get to decide what we see. Do you see what I see? Everybody's not always going to see it your way. You can argue people down until the cows come home. A man convinced against his will, as Kevin likes to quote, is still of the same opinion. So all you doing is arguing about perspectives. Who's right? Who's wrong? Everybody's right. People don't like that. People do not like that everybody's right. Everybody's right in their own eyes. You're right and they're right. Now it's about who do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? I take happiness. You can have it. You want that belief. You want the belief that everybody's against you. The world is trying out to get you. That no one else treats you right. No one understands you. You want to have that woe is me mentality. You can go cry in your soup. Go cry in your cereal. Cry me a river. Because some people do want that love the victim mentality, right? People love to feel like they need to be cared for, and they, feel less than, and they want people to always be, falling in alignment with their feelings. And they write a script where people cater to that. And so there'll always be victims. They will always be the victim. It's always they did this. It's their fault. Because it takes all kind of people to make the world go around. Yep, you cannot interfere with other people. Those who will see, will see. Those who will hear, will hear. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. There's no convincing others. The only one that has to be convinced of the reality you want to experience is yourself. And so Neville Goddard says, oh, you can use sleep as an aid.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead, Miss Kitty.
It's so liberating to look at life this way, because the only thing that you're ultimately responsible for, which is what you've been saying, of course, is your mind and your thinking. You don't have to worry about nobody else. You don't have to think about, it's to the world, they say selfish, but you don't have to think about nobody else. It's just so liberating. If I get my mind right, then my world will be right. It's a matter of getting my mind right. Now, let's be honest, it's a task to move through the programming. And it's a big pill to swallow that is all constructs. That's a big fat pill to swallow.
It's all built up in your mind. We built this city.
You need some food to help get that capsule down, and some hot tea or something, at least nothing cold, because you want it to melt as it's going down. It's a big fat pill to swallow. You mean that for centuries and eons, people been making shit up and telling me it's true, and I've been believing it because I didn't know better. But now I know. So now the life task becomes getting my mind right. And guess what? As soon as you get it right, then everything is, as soon as you get it right, it's all going to be all right. You just got to I just got to get my mind right. I don't know about everybody else. But it's so liberating. It's I always say it, and y'all be saying it's never too late, or blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to say it again. The younger you are, when you get it, the longer the years of your freedom. The sooner, the better. Now, you can mess around and piss around and be 150 years old when you get it. Now you only got 10 more decades to live. But I'm telling you, the sooner you realize it, the better your world. The longer you have to enjoy it. It's all in your mind. It's all you're thinking. Everything else is a construct. Everything else is a construct.
Now I have a question. Now, did you ask me some time ago about a scripture that maybe talked about restoration?
Me?
Yes.
I didn't, but you got one?
Somebody asked me, did I have a scripture about restoration? And it came to me yesterday. The scripture, if my people, you know that scripture?
No,
my people who are called by my name. I used to hear that a lot in church. They used to use that scripture a lot.
Say that again.
They used to use the scripture a lot. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. They never use that scripture in your churches. They use that all the time. They use that scripture a lot.
No, but what did you say about Isaiah?
This is 2 Chronicles 7:14.
Okay.
Yeah. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. That scripture is about restoration, right?
Okay.
Because we understand that heaven is within.
Yes.
Prayer is acknowledgement. Sin
Yes.
is missing the mark, and healing the land would be healing the mind.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
recall who asked back. I do remember someone asking me, that I have a scripture, and that one came. That scripture came to mind.
Okay.
Ooh.
Certainly for me then, since you remembered it right now. Yeah. So anyway, the last and final words. It's all in your mind. It's just a matter of the way you're thinking. We just got to practice. And when you fall down, you just get back up and just keep on practice. It's just all about your thoughts. That's amazing. It is amazing that nothing outside of me affects me. It's just a matter of tuning in and turning on my mind, my awareness, where I stand, how I speak to myself. Not how others speak to me, how I speak to myself. And that everything is a construct. So why not construct your own reality?
Ooh. That part.
That part.
Mm. And in this book, Neville reminds us about free will, right? Because the narrative of free will. And he reminds us free will is an illusion. Free will is only freedom of choice. Choose you this day who you will serve. Is your freedom to choose the kind of mood you assume, but the expression of the mood is the secret of the subconscious. And I thought about two scriptures that came to mind. Since I was going to do a video about free will, because, we love to hear our Christian sister and brethren tell us that it was our free will that causes our fall. It's our free will that causes us to go to hell. It's our free will that causes us to sin. Well, according to Paul, he says, for it is God who causes you both to will and to do according to his good pleasure. Where's free will in that? For it is God, your higher self, your deeper self, the I am within you, that is causing the personhood of you, the personality of you, both to will and to do according to what? The choices you've made. That's the good pleasure, your choice. And then the other scripture, it's kind of like it, but that's why sometimes I forget the other one, because they're very similar. It's going to come to me, because it's for God to cause you both willing to do according to that.
Is there a scripture? I hear it a lot. Choose you today who you will serve, or something like that.
Yeah. I just quoted that's Joshua 24:15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
that's
okay.
another quoted. Yep.
Okay.
Choose ye this day whom you will serve. No, I was thinking
Right.
of Paul when he talks about this is the other one. Being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you is able to perform it at the day of Jesus Christ. Again, that's not free will. It's freedom of choice. You get to choose who you're going to serve, but you don't get to control the will of the day. The expression of your choice is not from you, not from your reasoning mind. It's from your higher self, the greater self, the part of you that does not know the how. That's all it's saying, right? Because it also says God holds the heart of the king in his hand and turns it like a river, whichever it should go. Again, does that sound like free will?
No.
God made Pharaoh harden the heart. He chose to be stubborn, so he had to act out the stubbornness.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
The choice is that you have a choice. If you're going to choose to be fearful, hateful, angry, mad, discontent, that's a choice. After that, the will, how it plays itself out, a lot of people don't like it. I didn't want to, because you never know how it's going to manifest. And people get so mad at the manifestation.
Right. That's right.
right? They be upset with them because they sowed that seed of anger. They sowed that seed of discontent. They sowed that seed of unbelief and disbelief and fear and limitation and negativity, and then mad at the expression.
And it's so subtle. I mean, it just occurred to me, like in a conversation when, you know, Billy Bob, you're talking to Billy Bob, and he's like, "Isn't that a shame?" You go, "Mm-hmm, yes." You done sowed the seed. Unconsciously. And then you come back to the group and having this kind of conversation. But right before the group, you was having a conversation with your sister-in-law, right? Talking about your other sister-in-law.
Well,
No condemnation, just trying to bring up awareness of where we sow the seeds.
Yep.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah, because I was going to back of the script. You know, I love the script. Confess thy sins one to another. But go ahead, Cheryl.
When I was during COVID, I participated, like a friend of mine started like a daily Course in Miracles lesson, group. And on Fridays, I sometimes still participate in it, but we were reading in that Friday, like the danger of empathy, like when you empathize with people, when they're going through something bad, kind of like Miss Kitty was saying, like it was saying that's not really what empathy is, and that's actually destructive. So that just made me think of that. Like sometimes we're in a situation where, people are going through something and trying to figure out the right way to respond that doesn't kind of keep them in bondage.
Right. Free them up.
Because, the thing I was thinking about when you're sharing all this, like having all this awareness, but this, the mind can be tricky, because another thing you said, about the ego, when I was one of the reasons I left the Course in Miracles group is because people were turning the ego into the devil. Like there's no devil, but now and they were like the ego, like they were blaming everything they did wrong on their ego, like it was a monster.
Another scapegoat, right?
Yeah, and
another
it just kind of
scapegoat. Yep.
It shows like how we trade one thing in for another, because our mind is so accustomed to thinking that way. It's really hard sometimes for people to really, and I think that was one of the, I really like a lot of the Course in Miracles, but I felt like it didn't really bring home the point that we are God.
Right.
It was in the book, but it was very subtle.
Yeah.
And so people were still, the ego thing drove me nuts.
Yep. That's when I realized that spirituality was two sides of the same coin of religion, because they both needed a scapegoat. No full accountability there. Because if what I'm doing, if I can always blame an ego or a devil, where does my responsibility for change lie?
Yeah, I agree. And that was really starting to get to me. So, because at the time too, I really knew all this other stuff. So it was I just couldn't, it was just hard, because people have to come to it in their own time and way. But I did really see they traded in, their Christian beliefs for the Course has a lot of great teachings, I think. But again, I think there's, depending on who you're, reading with or whatever, there can be, you can trade, you can really get that messed up too, interpretation.
Yeah.
And then ego gets involved or whatever, because some people think their interpretation is right, and you couldn't really have a discussion, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, what Miss Kitty said made me think of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as long as you have someone to blame, you'll never take full accountability for your experience.
Right. And the ego, I refer to it, I don't even like that word.
Me either. I don't. You hardly ever hear me talk about it unless I'm saying that it's the same thing as a devil. So if I don't
Right.
believe in devils, how am I going to believe
Right.
in an ego? Like, what are we
Right.
doing?
And it's just it's really a part of your personality. So I oftentimes refer to it when I'm talking to myself or I want to take accountability for something. If I'm having a conversation with someone, I'll say my personality self. But it's just, and this just came to me. It's our programmed self. It's the self that's dealing with the world. You know, it's like the armor self, so to speak. It's the self that's on the front lines. So it's a very important part of us because it's just operating to keep us safe from a place where it thinks, I guess, or it's designed. I'm not sure how it's supposed, but it's the part of ourselves that leads us to keep us safe in the old habits and the old thoughts because it thinks that that's the safe place because it's the familiar place and blah 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 blah. But it's just, you know, I like you said, it's just, it doesn't, we're all,
Yeah, I just look at the ego as the physical self.
yeah,
The physical part of you that's supposed to experience the things that the higher self has manifested.
right.
There is no wrongness there. There is no
Right.
ill will there. It has no causality. It's just the world of effects. You are here to enjoy the manifestation. And how could you
Right.
enjoy it without the physicality of you, without the external you,
Exactly.
without the manifested part of you?
Yeah,
It's all you. It is. There is no separation. It's still
it's just
you.
another conversation
Yeah.
to distract us from
Yep. The
You-
oneness. That
Right, the
all
oneness.
is one.
That's it.
It's all
It's-
one.
And again, it's just a matter of being very discerning and acutely aware of the conversations that we are having.
Yeah.
Even under the name of, like you said, spirituality. We have to be aware of the conversations that we're having because the conversations that we have with one another, then later on, we're pondering them inside ourselves and thinking about. So we have to always, we have to be very vigilant. It's really it's a big job because of the way we've been programmed.
Yeah. Because death just is the withdrawing of your attention from a certain perspective. That's all.
Right.
Because the moment you release your attention from it, it dissipates. Because
Right.
it needs your attention to keep it alive. So
Right.
if we want something to quote unquote die, which we know there is no such thing as death, if you don't want that thing to be prominent in your experience, you just have to take your attention away from it.
Right.
Then it loses its strength or its power or its life because you're not feeding it anymore.
Day by day, minute
But
by
does
minute.
it still exist? In a sense, yeah, all things exist. There's only life. But for you in the present moment, it does not exist. Why? Because you're not observing it.
Right. Moment by moment. I find myself, and it's just better for me when I'm catching myself, whatever it is, whatever thought, whatever action, that if I catch it, the sooner I catch it, the better. The sooner I catch it and the sooner I revise it, the better. And it's just like wonderful. I say it just about every time I get up on this mic. It's an exciting time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be alive, and it's exciting to have this understanding. And it's just a matter of time before, if you're not experiencing it yet, it's just a matter of it catching up, your thinking catching up with the outpicturing of your experiences.
Yes.
And next thing you know, you're going to be on easy street.
So we have someone on YouTube, Saran, says, I'm 25, male, living in India. Unemployment is a huge thing. I have a bachelor's in commerce, master's in business administration, diploma in hotel management. Still no job. I have attended 15 interviews last week. Okay, Saran, so what do you want? I need you to say what it is you want. What do you want? Because right now you're talking about what you don't want. What I want for you to do is decide what it is that you do want. Don't focus on the unemployment, because there's unemployment in every part of the world. You can easily, Americans can say the same thing. We're over here in America. If you want to hear about the joblessness and unemployment rates, you can find that info on your local news stations, because believe me, they're talking about it as well. I see it from time to time on mine. I hurry and scroll, but sometimes you hear it about everybody's struggling, people don't have enough money, this is closing, that is closing, people, so you can feed into that mindset. This is where you have to guard your heart and tune out the negative noise that tells you that something's impossible for you just because it's impossible for them. You cannot feed into that mindset. So A-Town joined the chat. Hello, sir. Good morning. How are you? Are you there, A-Town? Do you care? So hold on, A-Town. So do you care about what type of job? Or you just want any job? Because let's be honest. Do you just want any job? Because I'm sure with your background, with your resume, there are certain jobs you probably are saying within yourself that you just won't take. So be honest about what you truly want. Because a lot of people say they just want a job, and then they get a job and it's not sufficient. Then they're complaining about the insufficiency of the income. Or they start saying, focus on what you really want. This is about clarity, because decision, as we talk about on this platform, and I like the way Latoxi, flushed it out. I would just say decision is the key. And she reminded us that decision is the portal. Because once you make a decision, opportunities just open up. But you have to be very intentional about your decision. You cannot be double-minded. Go ahead, A-Town, then I'll come back to Saran.
What is up?
Everything is everything.
Amazing. That's awesome. Salute to you, the chat panel. Definitely some good conversation. Love the the awareness, the illumination, the ahas, and all that good stuff. And I like that Toxia decision is the portal. Because decision comes, our decisions and what he talks about in chapter 2. The decision is because it says your subconscious gives form to your desires only when you feel your wish fulfilled. Wish fulfilled, that is a byproduct of a decision, right? Either your self-concept, right, or just what the experience is. And as the decision is made, it starts to just form up. And, that's when we take our hands off. We don't need to know the how and stuff like that. This chapter is also very juicy. Love the chapter. It was definitely like, and all that good stuff, just marinating on it. And, I even like to even read this stuff, because this is it's like steroids, what I'm saying? It feels like I got the cheat code on
Like the steroids.
to life. Yeah, it feels like I got, like we in a cheat code for real, because, your activity, it's like a lot less obstruction that we have to do in order to construct what we want and be who we need to be. So for me, it's like, it just brings simplicity to life. Even though it is major, it definitely brings simplicity to what we do, what we are, and even if we feel like we're in the wrong, or we feel like certain things aren't lining up, we can just slide right into the wish fulfilled, you know what I'm saying? Having that as a baseline to life. But one of the excerpts I wanted to read was, we should start off. I do like how they accentuate sleep, right? 2/3 of our living here on earth is sleep. And
It's waking state. 1/3 is sleep.
Say this again.
1/3 is sleep, 2/3 is the waking state.
Is it? Okay.
1/3,
Okay.
8 hours, 16 hours, you're awake. I mean, that's if you sleep 8 hours a day.
Okay,
It would
true.
be 1/3.
Yeah, no, I ain't getting. Okay,
yeah,
my bad.
yeah.
I said that
I
wrong.
know.
Yeah,
That's
1/3.
okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I ain't sleeping that much. I ain't getting that much sleep. Right. Right, Teddy. Yeah, 1/3. And so never in life have I been exposed to how sleep is, how we are exposed to what sleep is and how it is how we can use it, and I love the fact that I can use my sleep time now, like, okay, I'm already manifesting on the three, in reality, but now I can I can utilize my sleep in order to empower my now. So I just fell in love with the chapter again. But okay, a couple things. So it says your mood prior to sleep defines your state of consciousness as you enter the presence of your everlasting lover, the subconscious. That was kind of like, whoa, what in the world, right? Like, okay, my mood, dang, okay, am I in lack mode or am I in God mode, or just really checking my data, my psyche, whatever you want to call it. Just checking that data, kind of see where I'm at, and if not, get in there, and I like also too how you had stated, not necessarily sleep too, but just a state of meditation. We can supplement that state in regards to, what this is referring to. Also, one of the chapters, let me see. Hold on just a second. So, do not limit yourself to the past, knowing that nothing is impossible to consciousness. Begin to imagine states beyond the experiences of the past. Whatever the mind of man can imagine, man can realize. So I like that, where, it just brings us to that state of unlimitedness, where it's like, okay, no, nothing's off the table in my reality, and I can go there when I need to, or if I need to, I can access that state where sometimes, well, yeah, like you almost just said, oh yeah, let me just get a job, let me just have a good, I don't want no KILL in my family, or, just a nice, let me just be nice. But no, you can get it exactly how you want it. And there is bliss available. I think the fact that we've been indoctrinated to news and, and I even recognize too, like, even on social media, like, not a whole lot of good is being pushed to the algorithm, a whole lot, right? It's always going to be something, just something to spark a little, just to kind of jolt yourself, or just some craziness, some wretchedness. And maybe that's just the algorithm, but a lot of times you see a lot more, maybe I could say unpleasant, or some type of polarizing content that allows you to, that it's being pushed in the algorithm outside of just the whole niceness of life and how good it can be. Hey, what's up, Royal? Now we on chapter 2, so you just in time.
Halfway through. It's only 4 chapters.
I know. Look, we only on chapter 2.
We halfway through though. We at the halfway mark.
I know. Halfway through, we already on that chapter 2. But yeah, so I'll land right there. And as Teddy, no, I think it was Kitty said, choose ye this day whom you shall serve. So I like that, because coming from Christianity, it was always the God or the devil. But in, a newness awareness now, you have in many state, in the heaven, there's many mansions or something, what I'm saying? There's many states of consciousness. Mm-hmm. So you can choose, choose every day, and then it says, is your freedom to choose the kind of mood you want to assume, but the expression of the mood is the secret of the subconscious. So I just love how it just really breaks down to where, to really simplicity, and it gives us practical vitamins, practical solutions in order to detect where you're at. There's no guessing about, and I think that's where a lot of us sometimes will come into where conversations, I think it was mentioned earlier, where, certain conversations you just can't even entertain, in real time. Like I've noticed it, like people be, I come from a religious background, so a lot of our business colleagues and, they be ready to pray. I can't stand it sometimes. I love the identity of prayer, but when it really comes down to it, you begging and pleading, that ain't my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking nobody for nothing. I'm demanding, commanding, it's my time. So the way I accentuate the communication of prayer is way different. And now you can really kind of see where people are at in conversation. It's a lot more blaring. It's a lot more telling too. And that's saying on them, but just what I'm hearing, I just hear it just seems like nails on a chalkboard almost, like, no, I got a client always saying he ain't got no money. Always, it's always, my brother, say you do got money, you know what I'm saying? Or, it's always like you always, people are always going to be bad and you got to watch out. Well, if you said they're going to be bad, they're going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? And, it's just really telling about the communication from one another. So I'm just grateful to know the opposition of that whole psyche, and I can be on my good foot all the time. So, but yeah, I'll land right there.
Love it. Thank you for sharing. Love it. Yeah, so I'm going to quote another passage from the book. It says, do not waste one moment in regret. For to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to reinfect yourself. Let the dead bury the dead. That's Matthew 8:22 and Luke 9:60. Turn from appearances and assume the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you wish to be. You gotta forgive. This is what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is forgetfulness. Do not entertain the regret, shame, guilt, right? Just get the feeling, which is, you can use feeling however you want to use it. If you want to emotionalize it with happiness and joy, or just that relaxed ease state of knowing, of trusting, of letting go, of trying to figure out how it will show up, and just operate and trust in the process. When you believe, you shall receive. That's law. That is the law. The law of mind, believing is receiving, because it's already yours. It already belongs to you. You just got to remain faithful to it.
Can I put a pin in that real quickly? About, I was thinking about some of this other stuff, and I know there's someone else up here, so I'm just going to be quick. What I was thinking about was like, how do we get ourselves to believe something? Like, what's the actual function? All right, like, what do you have to do if something, for example, seems impossible to you? Like, how do you actually get yourself to the point where you can actually believe it's true? Me, I haven't had a ton of issue with that because I'm pretty, I don't want to say delusional, but I think pretty positively in general. But obviously there are some things that are like easier for me to believe than others. So I was just thinking about that, but I wanted to put a pin in that before we move on, and then I'll let the next person go.
Love it. Well, the next person dropped, so say delusional is good. Love it.
Come back up. Yes. So that's what I was thinking about, like the mechanics of it. Like, how do I get?
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Can you hear me?
I kind of blanked out while you were talking because I was reading the comments. So can you ask your question? Because they said great question.
Oh, you're
I'm like,
good.
I'm like, damn, did I miss something? Okay, but I guess I did miss something. I guess I did kind of blank out because
You're totally
I was
fine.
reading comments on YouTube.
I just talk a lot.
Forgive me. No, you don't. I just blanked out there. Forgive me.
That's a
Oh, sorry.
limitation.
Huh?
No, you're good.
That's a limitation.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
No,
What's the question? Go ahead.
So the question is like, what is the process for making yourself believe something, right? So some people use like affirmations, right? They'll like, they use it and say something so they believe it. Some people do other things, but I was thinking to myself, like, what is my process? Like, I don't know how or why I believe some of the things. I don't know why I believe.
Like how you get to that point of
yeah,
acceptance.
exactly. I can work myself up to, so like, I know Neville talks about, working yourself up into the state so that you can believe or feel that it's real. And it's like, sometimes it's easy for me to do those types of things, like, especially with types of things like, like I just manifested this couch. I manifested, whatever thing, that I was looking for or whatever. I'm manifesting a loft bed that I want to put in my bedroom, because I need more space. But, that type of thing is so easy for me to think about. But when it comes to other things, it's a lot harder. Like, I'm manifesting that, actually all my debt is paid off. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all my, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that, it had like work.
So what is, so you're
For
saying
that
like
type of
some
thing is
things
easy.
are like, why some things is easier than others to manifest, or there's a difficulty there with some things?
Like, to me, it's not even the manifest. So I want to say this. It's not the manifestation part, because I do believe that manifestation can happen. I know it works. I know for a fact it works.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I have to believe that it's real, or to believe that it can happen for it to happen. Sometimes it's just a thought. Sometimes it's something I have to believe. Sometimes it's, like.
So
like
we're
you talk
saying,
about
is
just your
this
word.
an exact science, right?
I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm not formulating my question.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
I was just thinking about like the process of this, like Neville talks about like working yourself up into the feeling, or working yourself up into the state. And I'm saying out loud, like, what is that process? For me, I do it kind of without thinking about it. Like, I do it because I really just want this thing, and it better happen. That's kind of like my mindset. It's like, actually, yeah, it actually needs to do that, so it should do that. That's like my mindset about a lot of things. But obviously, like, it's easier for me for some things than others. So I was just thinking about like for the things that aren't easy for me to think or to believe in, or to, because like the whole concept of like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to finish my thoughts, but I'm not.
No. I like how you're talking it through.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So like the whole concept of decisions are portals, right? That's super helpful for me, because in my mind, that's why I write on my whiteboard that I've already made a decision about this. This is already done. Like, I don't need to go I don't need to go back into it and think about it and think through it and think about all the ways it can happen. And, do I really want that? I don't know, like, I don't need to go back and forth. I've already written it down. It's already done. I've already decided. And I do believe that once you decide on something, everything becomes clear, because you know exactly what you're looking for at that point. Mm-hmm. And it just becomes, it's like a pathway just opens up.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand working yourself up into the state for that. Like, after you've already decided what you wanted. But for other things, it's like, maybe I want to imagine. I'm already imagining how my loft bed is going to fit in my room, right? I already know what I'm going to put in the space underneath. I already know how I'm going to reorganize my apartment, for all that space, the extra space and all, whatever. So that's easy for me, because I'm a visual man. I can think visually. Mm-hmm. Other things, it's like, I don't know. Some things are a little bit more difficult, like, especially when it comes to, I'm going to say a family, because that's one that I'm working on. I'm working on is like imagining, actually, you know, my relationship with, you know, some folks in my family is actually not as bad as I think, or maybe they think better of me than I think they do, or something like that. I also have like a competitor who is always on some bullshit with me. It's always on some bullshit with me, but I know that's in my mind. But I think the reason why I feel that way now is because he approached me to work like under him. And he approached me first, right? And then but the experience that I had with him was one of like, he approached me, liked me, and then all of a sudden he was like threatened by me. Like there was something weird about it that he just kind of flipped the switch, and it was just like, oh, okay, like I can't do this. So every 6 months, like his recruiter like reaches out to me because they want me to work for him, and they keep forgetting that I'm a competitor. And so, but every single time I'm like, I would be happy to work for you. I don't have any issues. Like, I'm not trying to steal your business. There's plenty of business out there to be had. But every single time he always says some stupid shit like, oh, well, for you to work for me, you need to delete your website. I mean, just crazy shit.
Not delete your website.
Oh yeah. Like you think this man thinks that we're in fucking, you know, Silicon Valley or some shit. Like he really thinks, yeah, he really wanted me to like delete my whole business. Like I'm not even fucking joking with you. And my mindset is like, I don't mind working for you, but like no, we're not gonna do that. But my point is like, even him, it's like I approach the situation from like a very like cordial, collaborative perspective, because that's how I approach work and life in general. You know, I don't have any problem being that way, even if we are competitors. And he definitely did not give me that energy back, and I'm like, I was shocked by that. So there's certain things in my world that I'm like, that feel so fixed, right? That feel so fixed. So it's like, for things that are like, you know, things and stuff and, you know, jobs and stuff like that, like I feel like those can be manifested. When it comes to people, I think that's what I'm really trying to get down to.
Okay. You like, they just the way they are, and I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Listen, I'm
you like, they're just the way they are. That is not my manifestation. It's a them thing and not a me thing. I get it. And I'm gonna help you with that because I manifested changes with people.
And that's where I really need it.
Yeah.
Hard. It's the people I have to deal with.
That is so. Like I can get stuff, bingo. I can see myself with it, and I know it. These people, on the other hand, these folks got free will in my reality. What the hell is wrong with them?
Well, that's where I'm struggling because I'm like, this man. I literally approached him with so much love. Like I admire him. I truly do admire him. I admire his business, and all that. But the energy he gave me was like some cutthroat Machiavellian type shit. And I was just like, you know what? Like, now I'm going to be that. Now I'm going to be evil. Like, I don't want to be evil. I really don't want to do that. But now I feel like I have to. And now I feel like we are nemesis now because now you're making it something it didn't have to be, you know? But anyway, that's where I find myself hitting a roadblock. You know, is like, I can get someone to do something. Like, my manager could cancel a meeting. I can get someone to do something for me. You know, I can get people, not that I have to. Sometimes people just do it on their own, right? But like, you know, if I really, really want something, I could get it to happen, like a thing, like an occurrence, you know? But to get people to like the behavior change overall, that's what I'm working on. Sorry.
Love it. I'll get into it, but I wanted to say to the YouTubers, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that like button. So, okay, so DNA and I am Janae. I did not know you had YouTube channels, so I will go and sub to your channels and check you check you ladies out. I did not know you had YouTube channels. So go see. Especially I Am Janae. You used to be over on TikTok, didn't you? Before you started watching me exclusively on YouTube, you used to come over on TikTok. I think I remember that. So, but I didn't know you had YouTube channels. So I will make sure that I go and check your channels out. And so with the manifesting better relationships, I know we assume that they're different than manifesting things, but they're not. It's just because you haven't made a decision, Tox. You haven't made the decision to have the type of relationships you want with them. So you keep the door of, I'm going to react to how they show up, as opposed to understanding they're only showing up because of your assumptions. If you had assumed something different about them, then how they show up would be different. And what worked for me, this is what I said worked for me when I decided that I was going to have better relationships. Okay, so first what I did, I thought better of them, right? I changed the story. The story am I telling? I changed the story, and then I decided not to think of them any kind of way anymore. I didn't think of them as good or bad. I didn't think of like, oh, how's this relationship going to be now? Remember, because I don't visualize. So I don't need to see how it's going to play itself out before I can have an experience. I retell the story in my mind, and then I don't think of it anymore. I completely let it go. And even if a thought of them tries to, like, nope, I'm just going to let the relationship be what it is, and it has no choice but to be the story of which I decided it was. So it has to show up differently. It has to, because I decided that it's different. It's just really that simple.
Well, let me ask you a little bit, a clarifying question. So when you think about how you're deciding you want it to be, are you thinking about like the general relationship? Or are you thinking about like a specific like scene? Because I think in scenes.
Okay.
I imagine things that way. So in my mind, sorry, I'm like outside, not outside, but whatever. So that's what I think about is like, how is this person going to react to me when I see them? And I imagine their facial expressions. I imagine, a hug. I imagine, those types of things.
So how come you aren't doing that with the competitor? And why are you making him a competitor? Why are you calling him a competitor if you know he's not exactly a competitor? Right. You already decided he's not a competitor because I don't want what you want. I'm not trying to get in your space. We can work together. So why isn't he considered? What do they call it in business? A peer? What is it? What do you call it?
Well, yeah, like a peer, like so like the only reason I called him a competitor is because he behaved that way to me first. I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
But who's the author? Who's the author of this relationship?
I heard. Like I know that I can redo it because
it's not even about it's not even about past experiences. That don't even matter.
Heard. Yeah.
It's not okay. It's not even about past experiences. It's about what I want to experience now. So now, whenever you reach out to me, it's smooth sailing. Whatever you can envision, whether it's because I don't know if you see each other personal, and are in each other's space or not. But
we're not in each other's space. We're in each other's like online space. Like
so it's a virtual communication. It's a virtual communication. So just like you're imagining facial expressions and everything, you're going to imagine emails that come back in a way that is complimentary, that is supportive, and like, I gotta have you on my team. We gotta do this together. Like, I don't accept no for an answer. I love everything you do. I love, like, whatever you want to hear, whatever you want read in that email, decide that that's what you're reading. Just like when you would say, whatever I want to see on their face, however I want the engagement to be, their expressions, or we're hugging or whatever, you could do that in the email because that's how you manifest. You visually see
Right.
things. So visually see the email just as you would want it to see when it's coming from someone who is who loves your work, right? Who's endorsing you, who's supporting you.
Heard. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because yeah, I was again every single
Yeah.
time I'm like taking it back.
Yeah, because revision
I'm
could
like,
just be simply,
what
oh, he
is
actually loves my website. He wants tips. He loves it.
Period.
He wants me to, you want to know how I came up with it. Who did I use? How did you build your
Yeah,
website?
yeah. I think that's what it is. When you said I hadn't made a decision, that's what it is. Because in my mind, the issue I'm having is that I thrive in competition, and
Oh, and that's
It's not-
why
it's-
he's a
that's what it
competitor.
is.
Oh, because that's where you thrive. Okay, so here's the
yeah,
thing.
I thrive.
The
in
competition doesn't
So
have to be negative, right?
Exactly. I completely agree with that. That's
It
not
could
the
be
energy I'm trying to
like,
go with.
this is healthy competition because we about making this money, baby.
Yep. And it's a big space, but it's a very niche thing. Like there's a lot of business for a very niche thing. So it's not like there are too many other competitors out there. There are a handful total. And so long story short, that's my issue is that he kind of gave me that energy. So I'm like, well, shit, like maybe this is what I need to kind of propel myself forward. And I do thrive in those types of environments, but I don't want it to be negative. You know, I don't want anyone to, harm my reputation. But yeah, that's what it is. It's like, I think he gave me that energy. So I was like, oh, wow. So let's do it then.
Yeah.
you're gonna turn around and actually make me a real competitor. Like you're gonna turn around and actually have a real problem. But go off, whatever. I really do admire what he does, but so that's why I'm like, what is this energy? Why are you coming for me? Like, what is going on here? So I think that's what it is. I haven't decided.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
And
decided.
remember how you told me when you watched The Office and a guy had a dream that he was what? What was he?
He was assistant manager.
So in your story,
Instead of manager.
And so in your story, why is somebody else a big fish?
Yeah,
And you're
I mean,
in your pond.
that's the key. That's key.
Right?
I think it's a.
Not to say that not to say that you're trying to lessen his role or what he is, but like we both big wheels up in this thing.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think he sees me that way.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen myself that way, obviously.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we're inspiring one another to greatness.
Right, 100%. You know, I just sometimes I think like I think I've talked about this a little bit before. Like some people thrive in like being an underdog. Like some people thrive in that kind of thing, or people are underestimating them and all of that. And I think I am one of those people where it's hard to be like I'm trying to work past this. It's hard to like be like I don't know if you watch basketball. It's a basketball term, like not a basketball term, but a basketball analogy. Like with like the Spurs, they were the underdogs going in to beat OKC, and they beat them. But like the whole time, like you could see that they are fueled by being the underdog. Like that is a big part of what motivates them, and it worked to their advantage. Didn't work in New York, unfortunately. But I'm one of those people too, where it's like underestimate me, that just pushes me to like be better, like go harder, that type of thing. So I'm trying to get past that point where I don't have to be someone's underdog in order to
thrive.
To excel. Yeah. So I'm trying to work past that actually. But I think
it's only if you see a wrongness there. Is there a wrongness there?
No, I just wonder if I would be like settling, like not pushing myself hard enough.
I get that. I get that. But because that's the thing, like when it comes to where we say there's no elevation without transformation, right? Like we're transforming ourselves and we're confronting those things within us. That's the depth. That's the going deep, where some people will call it the work. of talking to your shadow or your younger self or your, like doing this inner work and shadow work, when it's really just is the depthness of who you are, right? And accepting that depthness of who you are, that nothing shall be impossible to you, when you can confront and be honest with, there's some fear there, there's some anxiety there, there's some, like that, like, and saying it, owning it, confronting it, right? Because that's how you dissipate fear, is to confront it, right? That's how you slay the dragon. Not to pretend that is not there, but to decide that I'm going to what? Face it. Because then the moment you can say it out loud or you can face it, that's when you take away its power.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. It's a fear. It's a fear that I want to conquer. That's why it's like, oh, this, like, trying to be the
Yeah,
underdog.
because I was doing that this weekend. Y'all might have seen me these last couple of days. I'm like, okay, we all have these dragons to slay, right? We all have this beast that we have to ride upon and tame, right? We have to. What's the taming of the shrew? What is it?
The thing is true.
That we all have to do it. But it's all about confronting it, not pretending that it isn't there, but deciding to, call it by name. And then you recognize, oh, it isn't what I thought it was.
Yep, I think that's what it is. Because he's like the main guy in the spotlight. And I wonder if he probably has fears of...
It doesn't even matter. He doesn't matter. His thought. It only matters what you're thinking. Your thinking is causing your experience. Here's the thing. Yeah. And whatever you think of him should be what? Whatever's lovely, whatever's true, honest, praiseworthy, good report, noble, right? Because your thinking causes your reality. Because what you think of another, you're doing what? Thinking of yourself, because you're the only thinker, which means you're the only creator in your reality. Because remember when I told you about my husband's ex-wife, right? I was like, okay, now her and Neville about nothing to change but self, right? So I had to perceive her as I would perceive myself. Why? Because she is me, right? She's a projection of whatever I assume her to be. How she treat other people, none of my damn business. That ain't got itch to do with me. It's how I'm thinking of her. So I'm going to think the best of her. I'm like, oh, well, okay, yes, if I had a restaurant, would I not want my restaurant to flourish? Of course I will. When people think of me as a mom, I want people to think the best of me, right? So I'm thinking of all of the things that I'm aware of her and putting a nice framework around it, right? Because I'm going to decide that I'm going to forgive. And forgive is what? Giving that which I would like to receive in return. Because life is a boomerang. What I give shall be given back to me, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So whatever I'm giving in consciousness, I'm experiencing in my external reality. What's impressed upon me should be expressed by me. And then your outer world confirms the change that you've made with who? Self. You ain't changing them. You changing your assumptions of them. Because how you're experiencing them is not how other people are experiencing them, because they ain't having your thoughts. They're having their own thoughts. So it's what you assume to be true will be true for you.
Thank you. Super helpful.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Toy, can I just chime in for a minute?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Good. I was thinking that is, we're all here still learning and growing, but that basic principle is that is the one that I find myself always going back to, because that is the one that shines the brightest to me, and it just shows the most truth, is that we are the thinker. Bottom line, our mind is the navigator. And it's like no matter what, like we'll get out here in this world in our lives and whatever it takes. But whenever that doubt or that confusion or whatever it is that you don't, I'm saying what I don't want starts coming back, because that's part of awareness though. I love the awareness because I know there's a part of my brain that's always ready. I want to stay aware, but there's a part there that's going to always bring me back to awareness. And that's only because of the new practice, what we're practicing. Because before this practice, we were constantly practicing what someone else was teaching us, what someone else was telling us, and that part, I just want to share that. I got some more few things, but that part right there, that is my bottom, that's the foundation. That's the mind and the decisions and the power of your own mind is the foundation. That's the freedom. The other thing we were talking about, ego, okay, I told you I had practiced Islam for a minute. And Islam, there's a thing called your nafs. I guess it's an Arab word, nafs. I don't know, N-A-F-S or whatever. And it's equal to ego. That's what it means. So they give a whole thing about how to give up the nafs, how to let go of the nafs. And then in Christianity or other Western teachings, I know for sure, give up to ego. Give up to ego. And I've got, and when I'm studying Neville Goddard and some other metaphysical authors, it's like, no, because Neville Goddard is truly contrary to that. He's like, no, your ego is the awareness of yourself. That's what you want to be aware of self, And I'm thinking how when we came up under the Christian teachings, the very thing that you need to be aware of to help you navigate, that's the very thing they want to take away from you so that they can, this is just a beautiful thing. And I'm with a few more things. I'm with Miss Kitty. Definitely, you've heard me say it before, Tanya, because of my age, my beautiful young age of 77 years, that some are denied that privilege. However, I'm with her though. Anybody listening, any listening ears of youth or younger people, the sooner you can get it down, the sooner, I just believe it, the longer you'll get to enjoy it. You'll just get to enjoy it because you're going to enjoy it whenever the veil comes off, whenever the awareness comes, whenever you start applying it, because the minute you start applying it, you're going to see the results. There's just no other way around it. You can't get around it. It's a law. It's a rule. It's the truth. So I say that to say, the sooner you get it down, the better. The other thing, I wrote a few things down because I've just been listening to everybody. Someone said, well, we were talking about how two people, I think Kevin or somebody, two people can look at the exact same thing and have a total different, perspective. And I remember, I'm going to just be honest, I remember an experiment, I'll never forget it. When that movie, The Passion of the Christ, came out, and I went with a dear friend of mine, and I love her to the day. Oh my God, to the day. She's Christian and everything, but she's a sweetheart. And we all went. It was a bunch of us, which I was sitting right next to her. And I'm looking at this thing, and I'm not. I told you I've never been 10 toes down. Never been 10 toes down. But however, I'm looking at this thing. And she is, when they get to the part where he really shows how they beat him, whatever, beat him and eat all this. And she crying. This child is crying so hard. I'm like, oh my God. And we're at the same time. Though I couldn't express my feelings. I could have, but I chose not to. But while she's crying like that, I'm sitting in my seat thinking, wow. That's just how they did to slaves, or they told me. I believe they did. Well, I was like, I don't get it. What? So I'm just saying, she's looking at one thing. My brain is seeing something totally different. Even, I guess what I'm saying, I didn't give no more hurt or grief toward that, if in fact that ever happened, which I don't think it did now, than I gave to what I was thinking about. They were all the same to me. It wasn't, one bigger than the other because that's what they told us. For it to be bigger than the other. And actually, what we were viewing was supposed to be the very thing that saves us, okay? Mm-hmm. And if you just think about that, what kind of God? I mean, think about that. I'm laughing now, but what kind of God would make that be something that saves you? It just makes no good, it don't make good nonsense. Okay, I'm gonna say that. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. To each his own, but I'm sorry. Of all the things I can say, okay, let's say you had to come up with, even though I don't think nobody has to say, we save ourselves, but just say you had to. Can't you come up with something better than this? More human, less than this to save us? But anyway, okay, that's one thing. The other thing was I wrote it down real quick. Two things, and then I'm done. The terror, that saying, because this came to me. This is how self speaks to self. I love it. This is how God speaks to God, just like this. Sometimes I'm involved in things, usually some on social media, really, and I get up, I'm tired now because I'm aware. Okay, all right, enough. I push away, and I'm walking away. And the other day I said this. I'm walking away, and I said, "Wow, the mind is a terrible thing to waste." Then I stopped, and I said, "Wait a minute. I mean, literally, that don't sound. The mind is a terrible thing to waste." I said, "No. To waste the mind is a terrible thing." And that's my new saying now. See, the mind is beautiful. To waste the mind is a terrible thing. Okay. Not the mind is a terrible thing to waste, because mind is a beautiful thing. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with everybody. That came to me just like I'm talking to y'all, and I'm glad it comes, because all of that leans on awareness. Those kind of things I hear and things I see, that's all awareness. It's just coming to fruition. And the very last thing, and I'm going to make this as quick as I can. I had a dream years ago. This is when I was going to tell you that I never told y'all years ago how real this dream was, y'all. Oh, my God. I fell asleep, and I was married at the time. I think it was a little rocky maybe I was married at the time. But I had this dream. And when the dream opened up, there was a man in my presence, but I never saw the man. Never. I never saw him. I only knew he was there because of a feeling. It was like I could feel him. The presence was there. And all I know is whatever he was expressing to me, which wasn't a lot of words. I can't, it was like not words, just in my own mind. He loved me. He loved me to where it melted my heart. It was like, how you fall in love. That butter love when you're young and you fall in love. It was that kind. That thing was so strong. And he was trying to wasn't trying to come. He was like, I just want to be with you, whatever. And I said, no, I can't. I said, I'm married. I said, I'm married, sir. I didn't know that. I woke up out of this dream, y'all. And the feeling, let's go back. The feeling that I carried all day long was a state of euphoria. I was gone, y'all. It was like I had met a new person and they had took me over. I've never experienced anything like this before then and now. I've experienced some things people, coin as phenomenal, but not this. So watch this. I'm at work. People are coming up to, literally, y'all, people are looking at me because I was daydreaming all day. I couldn't let it go. Who is this? Where are they? It was just a feeling of unconditional, pure love that this person had for me. So people were asking me, they was like, hey, you okay? Hey, what? They was like, wow, you look so, people was literally, commenting on how I was looking, but I didn't know it. So I just wanted to share that. Dreams are strong. Yeah, the mind is strong. It's a terrible thing to waste the mind because it's too powerful to waste. I just wanted to share that with y'all.
Love it. Thank you.
And I want you to break this down. I'm writing it down. Frequency. Tell me that again. Something 3 to see. Is that what?
It's what you frequently see.
Frequently see. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. All righty.
What you give your attention to. Yep. Mr. Walter says, people forget to talk to themselves. Talking to your mind is one of the most important conversations you'll ever have, if not the most important, right? I've seen that song, I talk to myself because there is no one to talk to. People ask me why I do what I do, right? That's Mr. Christopher Williams. He was in the movie with Wesley Snipes and what was it called? And Ice-T. And who else was in that movie? They were all in that movie. Am I my brother's keeper? What was the name of that movie? We say, am I my brother's keeper? Am I my
New Jack City.
New Jack City. That's it. New Jack City. That's it. That's it. Love it. Go ahead, Kev.
Can I speak to the elephant in the room?
What's the elephant in the room?
Toya, I declare, girl, you give the best advice.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I mean, you hit the nail square. The I can't regurgitate everything that you said that I agree with. The fear part, the confronting the fear. The reason I believe the toxic is having this experience with this guy is because it's identifying something in her that her subconscious knows needed to be addressed. And you cannot address what you're not aware of. You need to be aware of something before you can do something about it. And confronting your fear takes away the power of that which you fear. I be grinning ear to ear listening to you teach out of what's in you and giving that outward advice. It just blesses my soul so much. That's what I mean by speaking to the elephant in the room. That everything that we have, the answers to any question lie within the subconscious, the deep knowing of ourselves. The answer to every question. We used to have a saying, we would hype others up. We would say, how you doing? Or, you got it. Or, we would say, you the answer to every question. Well, yes, you are the answer to every question. And I'm just loving it live. I mean, I'm just sitting back and enjoying it to the fullest.
Oh,
taking
appreciate that.
Taking it all in. And everybody is right. Everybody's opinion, whatever level of their consciousness and awareness they are, is perfect for where they are at the moment.
Absolutely.
And it will continue to expand.
Yeah.
Moment by new moment by new moment.
Love it. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the share. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if Saran is still in the chat on YouTube, but one of the ladies, Miss Kitty, wanted to remind you that when you're deciding what you want, especially when it comes to your job situation, that you never want to move out of desperation. And it's not just a job situation, it's whatever you're deciding in life. Never move in desperation. Never move with urgency, emergency. Move with intention. Everything should be done with intention. The world will try to tell you, gotta go, gotta hurry, make a quick decision, gotta move with urgency, gotta move with. No. Move with intention. Move with purpose. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Be aware. Because once the seed has been released into the fertile ground of your subconscious mind, of your intention, of your choice, or whatever you want to call it, your deeper self, the way of expression is unknown to us. And what needs to happen will happen. Even if at the moment, even from the appearances, it may seem to go against everything you thought should happen. Because a lot of times we get experiences and we question, like, wait a minute, I asked for this and this is what's happening? Like, what's going on? Like, oh, I thought I was going to get this job. Why didn't I get that job? I could see myself with that job. What's going on? Like, why did this thing happen where I couldn't get this? Because your infinite self You got to understand what we call the universe, the higher self, the infinite intelligence, the wisdom of the ages knows the path and the thing that best suits you, even if you think you do know. You ask for a very specific thing. And you might even ask in general terms, but you do want a very specific thing, a very specific experience, a very specific outcome, even if you generalize the asking. It can see from the bird's eye view. It has a 360 view where you only have a small way of looking at it. How you're seeing it is it must happen this way. This is where the trust the process must come into play. Like if you didn't get that position that you were going for, it's because that wasn't for you. That wasn't the one that you were asking for, even if it appeared to meet certain things that you were asking for. You have to understand the law you do not ask for bread and it gives you a serpent or a stone. It doesn't play switcheroo or play games with you. It will give you your heart's desire. You just have to trust it. And never go by appearances. We walk by faith and not by sight. We walk by things we cannot see, not the circumstances. Because circumstances will trip you up. A lot of people get lost in the circumstances, and then they go down that rabbit hole of circumstances, and then they find themselves getting further and further away from the outcome they wanted to experience. But if you can remain faithful, don't grow weary. I remember Kevin was quoting that scripture. Don't grow weary in well-doing. That's remaining faithful, persistent, steadfast in the knowing that what you ask for shall surely come to pass. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for you shall reap. If you what? Don't give up. You cannot give up. You're right there. The door is open. It's right there. The thing you want, it already belongs to you. Now it just has to go through the process of revealing itself to you. That's all that's happening. It's going through a process of making itself known to you. Making that physical representation that was already created in the spiritual now has to bring forth itself in physicality, in expression. Yep, persist, persist, persist. Yep. I Am Janae says, everyone will always come to show us the unacknowledged, unhealed, dormant things that lie within that are ready to be revealed. And Plotter says, this is Walter. You told yourself you'll never have it throughout your life. Your brain will look for proof of what you're telling it. Tell it otherwise. The brain will do the same. Yep, this is where you have to create, what people talk about patterns, right? You have to interrupt the pattern, right? Because you were programmed into a pattern, right? And so the brain is seeking out familiar patterns. And now you're telling it, we're not doing that pattern anymore. We're doing this pattern. So it's not the world trying to test you to see, do you really want it? Do you really want it? Do you really? No, it's wanting you to stop giving the attention to the old pattern. You keep resurrecting the old pattern and giving life to the old pattern while at the same time trying to declare the new. You have to what? Die to the old so you can what? Embody the new. You cannot operate two states. So when the old pattern is showing itself, like the chicken with the head cut off, y'all know my analogy of the chicken with the head cut off, right? The old pattern seems to have life. Even though you know you cut it off at the head. It's dead. But it wants to be resurrected. And how do you resurrect it? You give your attention to it. You are the life. I am the life. The moment I identify with the old, guess what I just did? Went and dug up dead man's bones. What did the Christ say? You got to let the dead bury the dead. You got to leave that alone. You got to stop giving your attention, your energy, your focus to the very thing you don't want to happen. And then wonder why it's alive and well, why it won't go away, why it won't die, why you can't experience the thing that you want to experience because you keep feeding the thing you don't want. That reminds me of the scripture when the disciples are going around and they can't heal or they can't work the miracle, right? The devils ain't going nowhere. And they're questioning Christ, like, wait a minute, well, why can't we do this? Why can't we perform this miracle? Of course, I'm ad-libbing. That is exactly him, but you get the gist. And he says, some things only come out through prayer and fasting. These type only come out through prayer and fasting. So the church will have you believe, I got to turn down my plate. I got to stop eating certain foods. I have to go on a 72-hour day fast, or I have to go on a week fast, or I have to do the Daniel fast of 20 days, 21 days. And they really think it's about what you're consuming in the mouth. Now, that may help you lose some weight, but that ain't bringing no transformation of the mind. You may get some, physical, results from eating juice and pickles. I mean, juice and pickles, juice and fruit and vegetables for 21 days. But that's not changing your mindset, which is the creator of your reality. So the fasting he was talking about, fasting from limitation, fear, negativity. And now you're going to feast upon, because if you're fasting on one thing, that means you're feasting upon another. So you have to feast upon what? That it's already done, that all is well, that everything works out for me, that if I delight myself also in the law, I will get the desires of my heart. That will God not do it? Has he not said it? Will not he perform it? That my word that goes forth should not return unto me void. Like you have to feast upon what it is you want and fast to the thing you don't want, which means what? You got to turn away from it. That's what it, so, but in prayer is what? Acknowledgement of the truth. The truth is you're already that which you desire to be. You're already it. It already belongs to you. There's nothing to do. There's only to be. It's just about acceptance. Because again, it's Neville, Goddard, Dr. Joseph Murphy, Reverend Knight, all of those teachers that didn't, shed too much, didn't really talk about egoic, they talked about the higher end of, Neville would say what? I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. So he's saying there's a lesser you and a greater you. The lesser you is not from a place of that is somehow, the lower you is not so much that is lesser, it's just that it's limited in its perspective, right? That the greater you is the all-knowing power that sees everything. And the lesser you is the part of you that's going to experience what the greater you has expressed, has brought into fruition. And so and I forgot, I kind of lost my train of thought what point I was about to drive home with Neville Goddard and Dr. Joseph Murray. It was a point that I had, but it escapes me now. But it'll come back. If I meant to say it, I know it'll come back into my mind. Well, we don't have to worry about how we're going to express a thing. Oh, that's what I was going to say. They tell you, see, I know it's going to come back. They remind you that the doing is automatic. You are compelled to express the thing. Once it's impressed, you must express it. That's law. When you have convinced yourself, when you've accepted, when you've decided that you are the thing, that you are the being, that you have it, that it belongs to you, you can't help but express it. It comes in a way you do not know in a time you least expect. It's automatic. Things just happen as the result of you, or after you decide what it is, who you are, you will. This is why the Bible will tell us to seek ye first the kingdom of your good and all of its right thinking. And then all the things that you desire automatically gets added to you. It says what? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all the things get added to you. That's Matthew 6, right? When Jesus is telling you, hey, your Father already knows what you have need of. So you don't ever have to worry what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, what you're going to wear. The adulterous nation, they seek after these things. The perverted generation, they seek for these things because they have no faith. But when you seek first the kingdom of your good, and where's the kingdom of your good? Within you. And what is righteousness? Right thinking, the acceptance that you already are that which you desire to be. You automatically get the things. You're going to be like the psalmist David that says, I've been young and now I'm old, but I've never had the righteous or seen the righteous forsaken, those who think right about their life, begging for bread. I've never seen the righteous forsaken or the seed begging for bread. You don't have to beg for this because it's what? Freely giving to you. It is by grace. It is a gift that ye are saved. What is saved? Salvation. What is salvation? The solution to your problem. You're always given the solution. As I say, when you just ask, it'll be given. When you seek, you definitely find. When you knock, the door is always open. God, consciousness, awareness, the I am, the higher self, the wisdom of the ages, whatever we're calling it, Allah, Krishna, Buddha, never says no. Doesn't know no. It's always yes. What you want hardship and difficulty, you got it. You want light and easy, you got it. You think that you got to go through hell in order to get to heaven, you got it. Now, somewhere along the way, the world convinced us that pain, we have a distorted view on what pain is, right? Pain is just a way of the body telling you a change is taking place. So we were never to resist the pain. We were to experience the pain. We surrender to it. But the reason why it seems so painful, because we resist the change. We're resisting the change. Change brings tension, and we consider that resistance, right? But we know when we're training and building muscle, there has to be resistance there, right? We do weight training, right? We put in a resistance against the muscle to build it up, right? Same thing with transformation. There's a tension going on because there's a resistance taking place. But the moment you surrender, that's why you don't feel pain when you're asleep. When you're awake, body could be aching, mind could be headache, could be experiencing a migraine, whatever. But the moment you go to sleep, the sensation dissipates, right? Because you're unconscious to it. Well, you can do that in your waking state too. You don't have to be asleep to surrender or experience the pain. But it's just tension happening in the body. The body's trying to hold on to the old state. The body likes familiarity. And now you're telling it, we're going to we're going to create a new normal. And so that's why, like the Wiz says, you got to ease on down the road. Cast your burdens upon the I am, for he cares for you. And the burden of the I am is what? Light and easy. The road is straight and narrow. The crooked paths get made straight. It is a narrow path, right? It is very narrow that leads to eternal life. The broad way is wide and crooked, and that leads to destruction. And everybody want to take that road. Because really, people really think that the wide road is the easy road. When actually the wide road is the destructive road. It's the road of conformity. It's everybody's doing it. It's, well, they said this was the way. And you come along and say, no, it's my way is the highway. And the world says, no. You should be doing what everybody else is doing. When you decide that I'm going to do it my way, was that Frank Sinatra? I did it my way. That can appear to be kind of lonely for some people. But I was listening to Oprah Winfrey, and I think she said her friend Gail told her, Say, you always alone. She said, I'm never alone. I'm with myself. So how can you ever be alone when you're with yourself? And that's how we have to perceive, right? We're not lonely. We're not by ourselves. We're with ourselves. Because as long as you got you and you should never be alone. Yeah, you've been with yourself the entire time. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful thing. Yeah, I like that too. I was like, oh, all right, Oprah. Okay, I like that saying. And I'm gonna read this last quote of Neville Goddard that I highlighted. Through your ability to think and feel, you have dominion over all creation. Through your ability to think and feel, you have dominion over all creation.
Yes, and I'm just gonna quickly. I thought about Latai. I love y'all so much, but Latai, because I was hearing everything she said. It doesn't matter how big or small. That's what I was hearing you say. How can some things, you were mentioning the cow. It doesn't matter. I finally got that together, because at one time that was a big like. Oh, I couldn't dare try to imagine this. Oh, but this just happened. I imagine this, something very someone. It's only big or small to us, but to the law and to the rule, it's the exact same thing. It's what makes the playing ground level. Put it like that. That's what I found out. It makes the playing ground level, no matter how big it is or how small, as long as you can, what Toya saying, just believe it and know it to be, and then apply the other things of awareness. It's all the same.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I got a super chat. Sorry, Walter, I don't know what currency this is, but thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I thank my new algorithm for bringing me here. Oh, even my algorithm changed because I changed. I asked for the content. It brought me here. Woohoo! Yes. Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes. Oh, I love that. I am Janae. Pain is inevitable, but thank you, John Greer. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is what? Optional. Optional. Oh, British pounds. Thank you. I know I thought that was, but I didn't want to misspeak. Thank you so much. You in the UK? Thank you. But you're Irish. Okay. So he's Irish. All right. Thank you. Hello, Divinely Honest. Yep. Solid as a rock. Hey, that's what this love is. Hey. And we're still Ooh, say we built it up, and now we're solid. Yes. So we have
Believe and receive, right?
believe and you shall receive. Believe and you shall receive. They came on your radio yesterday, Marcenda. Hello, Andriel. Did you mean to come up, darling? Welcome.
Hey everyone on the panel. Hey to everyone in the chat. And that's one of my favorite songs. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time I hear it, it was one of my favorite songs as a kid. I love that song. I just want to say thank you for breaking down the fasting, because so many years, like me being in church, fasting always dealt with food. It always dealt with what you were putting inside of you. It never was coming out of you. You see what I'm saying? And when you broke it down like that, because I remember there's a scripture, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because it was saying like, don't have your face be like
a certain consonants.
Consonants of your face, people know you're fast, and stuff like that, and not to let people know that you're fasting. So and I remember like just being young, people struggling because they can't eat a certain way or eating certain food, and they couldn't wait to go back, but they went in the fast the same way they came out. there was no change because it was always what you ate versus that. So when you broke it down to as no, it's supposed to be a fast of changing your thoughts, changing from you know, how you're thinking. I'm like, wow, the light bulb went off, because I can say for me, when I like to write things down, you know, I'll write things. I even visualize as well. And then it's like, really, I could do a multiple of things. I sat down with myself and I was like, how do I manifest? I was like, because some people say, but to me, it's like, I think about what you said, making a decision. Because sometimes when I make a decision, I'm just like, I'm tired of dealing with something. I'm done with it. I'm done. You see what I'm saying? And but I'll write things down as well to help me get it out, and I'll just take the paper and I'll just shred it. You see what I'm saying? It's like any negative thing that's going on with me, or something I want to release or whatever, I'll just write it out and I will just start shredding the paper up. You see what I'm saying? And that's my way of releasing the old, and then I'll write what I want to focus on. So basically, that has been helping me a lot. And I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, because I took my mind off of that and I said, no, I'm going to think this way. And I started seeing things change. You see what I'm saying with me? Mm-hmm. So I realized the whole time in that scripture, it was just telling you about your focus. It was telling you about what you are focusing on the most, because that would be in your life. So if I don't want to experience these things continuously, then take my mind off it and also change the way I think about it. So that's when I understand what repentance means, you know, and everything just started like making so much sense. Because I'm not going to lie to you, you know, reading it would be confusing, you know, like, what you mean? I have to, you know, do this. Like, don't eat this for a certain day and this is going to change, or, you know what I'm saying, or stuff like that. It was, but more of line of, okay, what are you focusing on? Take your focus off of that. So if it takes you 21, and then, you know what, I'm going to backtrack. You know, in marketing, it says it takes 21 times for a person to see something before they actually get it. You see what I'm saying? So it's really the number 21. So for example, like if you keep seeing McDonald's, even though I don't eat McDonald's, but I'm using it for example, if you keep seeing this new burger they talking about at McDonald's, right? And you keep seeing it, the next thing you know what, let me go over there and try. You know what I'm saying? This burger, because it's what you focus on, what repetition. Remember we talked about that last live, repetition. You constantly seeing it in your face. You see what I'm saying? And so for me, it was like, okay, taking your mind off and repeating the thought, you know, what you want, you know, and you finally will have that. If that's what I'm saying, making sense. You see what I'm saying? So it was just like, wow, this is really, when you broke it down like that, it just brought it home for me. It's like really focusing on, like taking your mind off of that and say, okay, I'm going to focus on this. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to release this, and I'm going to just think better, because I'm not going to lie to you. Those negative thoughts, to me, is torturous. You see what I'm saying? Like, especially the self-limiting beliefs, and those things are saying you're not this, you're not that, or whatever the case may be, all the time. That can be torturous to, you know, thinking that way. So for me, it was all of when I realized that, okay, I understand why he said think on the good things, think on lovely thoughts, a good report, because they bring health to your body, they bring healing to your body. You know, they had studies that even show, like, when you are thinking those ways, it make new pathways in your mind and stuff like that. So they got studies that prove that however you high frequency, like they have studies that prove, I can't think of her name. It was a neuroscientist. I can't think of her name right now. She wrote a book, but she was talking about how new thoughts, like thinking positively, make new pathways, you know, for healing in your body. And so it was just like amazing. But I just wanted to get on here and just tell you, thank you for breaking it down like that, because it really means a lot, and it just brought everything home. as far as like that's what fasting really is. You see what I'm saying? And not food. It's fasting from a negative mindset. It's fasting from self-limiting beliefs. It's fasting from that, you know. So I just want to say thank you, because it really was like, wow, she just hit it on the nail for me. And I just literally just, I was like, okay. Because I did say, I think on the other live I was on, I did say I want to take a break from social media and different things and just really focus on things that, you know, that I want to do. And I remember you talking about application, applying what you learned, you know, making sure that I apply everything that I'm learning instead of just listening to it, apply it in my life and test it. You know what I'm saying? So I did say I wanted to do that just to give myself a break and just to really reflect and really, you know, meditate and be on and just really sit with myself. So yeah. So I just wanted to say thank you. And this book, I did read the book. I did the audio version of the book. And it's so short on YouTube. It's only 39 minutes. But
yeah, it's only 4 chapters. It's very, 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 very short book. Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So, but the thing is so amazing. I even have the reader with all of his books, all of his lectures and stuff like that. So I'm gonna re-listen to it again, because the things that was jumping out at me, it was just like, even though it's a short book, it's a short, powerful book. The same as like the power of awareness is longer. That's a powerful one. I'm still like getting like nuggets from that book, you know, from that as well, you know, being aware of what I'm thinking about. And that's just been a true journey for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm knowing that it's been me the whole time. That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm like, wait a minute, it's been me the whole time. Are you serious? Like, you know, so, but yeah, but I just want to say thank you again. And also for that, because that really helped me. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yep. Because here's the thing with the advertisement. You have to be open to it, right? Because if you don't like McDonald's, I don't care if they show you 50,000 times. If you've already got a closed mind to McDonald's, I don't care how many times. Like, I have a closed mind to eating green peas, them little small little. I don't care how many ways you put it in, what you mix it with, what you try to convince me it tastes good. If I have a closed mind to eating that, if I've decided that I don't like green peas, I don't care how many times you try to advertise how scrumptious it's going to be. I'm not eating it.
No, but I just like how they use it for like
right. But that's because your mind is open to it, right?
To it, yeah.
You're open to, you know, you don't have any limitations regarding certain things, right? But things like the Toxic was saying earlier, if you're closed off to something, it doesn't matter how many times it's presented to you, until you have a shift in consciousness, it's a block there. That old pattern is going to keep playing, right? Whereas, oh no, they're competition. Oh no, they're just, they just get on my damn nerve. They make me so sick. I can't believe this person be showing up like this. I can't believe he be trying. This nigga had the nerve to try to tell me shut down my shit. Is he out his damn man? What the like, right? Like you have a certain, you're closed off. You have to be, now you have to open up and be receptive to the change. You have to decide, no, actually, I have to make a decision about this relationship. And regardless of appearances, my decision is what brings about the change and nothing else.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Because that stuff like that works on the sleep, who ain't thinking for themselves. For those who are thinking for themselves, you get to choose what you're going to be repetitive about. And you're not going to let the world program you, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I was,
right? Because you're influenced, right? When you decide that I'm the upper empowerment, I'm going to decide who goes there, what I'm going to open up my consciousness to, right? Like, so it's just like someone deciding, oh, the algorithm is negative. No, your algorithm is negative.
Yeah.
My algorithm not
Mhm.
negative. I don't.
Yeah.
I decide what I'm going to watch on my algorithm. TikTok don't get to tell me what I'm going to watch. I
Exactly.
tell
I mean,
TikTok what I'm going to watch.
what I want to watch, because you
Right?
also can press on it and say not interested, and you won't see it on your algorithm again. So
Oh,
it's
don't
like you do
entertain
have,
it. The moment you entertain for 5 or
yeah,
10 seconds, they like, oh, you must like this. Let me give you some more. of
yeah,
this.
exactly. So
Let
you
me
gotta
give
hurry
you
up
some.
and
Yeah.
scroll.
It's taking its cues from you. Nothing is just happening to us. Everything is happening because of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Hello, Paulina Harris. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She said, yes, I agree. I got sick one time from eating Panda Express and I cannot eat from them again. It's been 2 years now. Her experience. All right. She's like, oh,
Exactly.
never
I'm
again.
like that. Like, once you get me sick, that's gonna be the last time you ever see me. I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
I was like that.
It
With
rather you have it right.
chicken.
It's almost like that connection of if you
Yeah.
had a really good experience, whatever emotions were attached to that, right? Like, ooh, that food
Mhm.
tastes so good. I'm coming back, right? Or ooh, that was the most horrible experience I ever had. Never going there again, right? It's what you know, those emotional sensations really do solidify things for us in our brain where we're like, yep, this is what I consent to, this is what I don't consent to. The things that we're open to that we really haven't made a real, you know, decision
on.
about, now we're open
Yeah.
up to whatever comes. And now we're subject to that repetitious
Yeah.
thing happening.
And I like when you said about patterns. That really hit home for me, because when we can recognize the patterns, then we can also make the changes, because sometimes you're not realizing, okay, you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Until you do some self-reflection. That's why I like to do that. I like to get alone and just to self-reflect and look at the things that I'm doing, look at the things that I'm saying. And so, okay, I have to make a change here. You know, where I'm being inconsistent at, where I'm being, you know, whatever that is, you know, because that would help you to make changes in your life. So patterns, paying attention to that is really important. So when you talked about that, I was like, yeah, that makes sense, because it's like doing this, like you said before, like doing the same thing, and it's called insanity. Wanting something to change, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing over and over and over again. So it's important to do the self-reflection, to sit down with yourself. And I'm a big believer in talking to yourself. Like, you really have to be real and be like, okay, girl, like, you gotta get, okay, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to really talk to yourself, you know? So, I'm glad you brought that up. This has been an amazing live, as always, but I'm glad you brought that up, because we really can pay attention to the things that we're doing day to day. And when we pay attention to our patterns, then we can say, okay, this is what I'm doing, you know, and this is where I can make a change to see different, you know. And also look at your mind as a program, as a computer, you know, putting a new code in, you know. Getting rid of old code that doesn't serve you no more and putting in a new code. Just every time you upgrade your phone, it's a new code they put into your phone. So if you think of your mind like that, okay, I'm upgrading, I'm getting rid of old code. Now this is the code that we are constantly working on. And we understand how codes are repeated every single day. It's not a one-time thing. It's a everything continuous thing, how codes are done in a phone. And I had looked that up through Chat GPT. It was saying that it was like this is what codes are running on every single day. You see what I'm saying? So no more of the old code. It's this new thing here. So I was like, wow, you know. All right, this is good. But I also want to think about the Chat GPT too, because girl, I've been on there breaking down these the scriptures and the esoteric, and it just been amazing. You know, so now the Bible has opened up, and you know what I'm saying, a new way for me. And I enjoyed it. So thank you. And also I'm glad about the guy giving that website to go with Metaphysical Bible and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this has been amazing. So I'm just loving this new journey that I'm on, you know, and I'm grateful for coming on live, meeting you all. It's been, I can't believe it's been a year, you know, but I'm so grateful of meeting you all, and it's really been helpful in my journey. So I just want to say thank you to that.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for being a part of the family. Yes. So Mr. Walter says, protect your mind. It protects you, but love your mind because it loves you. My mother. Oh, your mother is so wise. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Miss Kitty, now, I know you told us about the Sandman. When you first told me about it, I binge watched like the first 6 episodes. That was a couple of months ago. So the last couple of days, I've been watching The Sandman. I think I'm on season 3. I'm like, oh wow, it just has so many beautiful things, and that's something you do have to like go and rewatch, because I'm sure you'll get more revelations as you rewatch. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is all about the mind. This is so beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is. I'm like, and then I was like, wait a minute, all of these names begin with a D.
I never noticed that.
I was like, wait a minute, desperation, delirium,
Right.
death, dreamer, destruction. The 7 of them.
Wow.
Wait, who did I say? Let's see. Destiny, death,
Delirium.
destruction, dreamer.
Dreamer.
And whoever else I'm gonna think of them, but I was like, they all begin with a D.
I'm gonna start rewatching it tonight.
I was
I've
like,
been seeing it.
oh,
my
okay.
God. And the dialogue, just beautiful.
Yeah.
The conversations, so rich.
Yes, it's The Sandman. It's on Netflix. They have their
Yes.
third season. I don't know when the new seasons come out.
Right.
Because they were
I don't
already
know either.
established when Miss Kitty recommended it. Yep, on Netflix. Yeah, you said you never know. I was like, wait a minute, because at first I was calling her Grim Reaper. I'm like, that's not her name. Her
Right.
name is Death, because everybody else got a D.
Right.
She Death.
And my
She ain't
favorite
Grim Reaper. Her
character-
name is Death. Because I'm like, everybody got a D. I'm like, y'all, okay. I see y'all. Okay.
And next to the dreamer and death is my favorite is Delirium. I love her.
You know what? I love her too. I watched the show as well, and Delirium, she is.
She's so light and fluffy.
Yeah.
Desperation. Did I say
Like,
desperation? Desperation is one, too. Yeah. Delirium. She
Yeah.
is. Oh my goodness.
I love her. She just, it's like a little butterfly in all world.
Yes. Oh, desire. I got them all. Desire,
Yeah, desire.
desperation, delirium. Yeah. Okay. So I said all of them. Whatever first 5 I said, you got
Right.
desperation and you got desire. Desire.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Such a
They're
good
all
show.
D's. Yep. I was like, wait a minute. They
Yeah.
all start with D's.
That
Okay.
Desire is something else. That character is a
Yes.
trickster right there. Yeah.
Yes. And it's like it just
Oh, yeah.
takes you away you're just like literally for me, out of body and totally into this show. It's
Mhm.
like it just takes your mind took my mind so many different places, and I just love
I am
that show.
saying, what ish y'all watching? Not what ish we watching. I like the one they did. I forget. I don't know. I can't remember which episode it was related to. Do you remember the one about the cats? And the cats go listen to the great cat.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know
And how how the cats, because the cat, she said, I can't realize my human wasn't what I thought it was. I thought that they cared for us, but she ended up getting busy with an alley cat and had.
Mhm.
Can you remember that, Miss Kid? I was like, how they went to go listen to the great cat, and the great cat was like, it wasn't always like this. Humans used to serve us, but then it was a human that rose up and told the rest of the humans, we can overtake them. All we got to do is dream. All we got to do is dream. And if we dream, we can be, the head. And like I'm ad-libbing.
Yeah.
But he's basically telling them, we can be the head and not all we got to do is dream. All we got to do, so they got 1,000 humans to dream. And that's how then they said this one day the humans became big, and then the cats became small. And one of the cats was, the little kitten was like, I believe you. I believe you. Said, well, that's the first step. And then as they're going back home, the little cat and the big cat, the kitten and the big cat, he was like, yeah, but trying to get 1,000 cats to agree. I don't know how that's going to happen. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I love that story.
Oh my goodness. But it was telling you that dreams is what it is. You don't dream. When you dream, there's nothing that's limitless. Because that's what the dreamer is. What do they call it? Endless time or endless dreamer or something? I'm just like, endless something. I'm like, wow.
Endless. I think it was an endless time.
Yeah.
If I'm mistaken. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the father and mother, his father was time. And his mother was night. Was darkness.
Yes.
Was
Yeah.
darkness. Darkness and time were his parents. See, let me take a watch. Yeah, it's because sometimes they'll have like several episodes are tying in, and then sometimes they just have one-off episodes. I really like when the one guy got to be immortal, right? He said, "I'm never gonna let you die."
Yes,
I was like, he was experiencing all those different eras, and even though he was experiencing, he's like, "Nope, I still don't want to die." Right, because people will be like, well, why would you want to live forever? Because he showed you why you would want to live forever. You got to see the evolution of man. And he got to experience every era of time.
And with all these ups and downs, and still wanted to live.
Yep, he lost children and all kind of stuff.
Right.
And he's like, you ready to die? No, I don't want to. He's like, no, I want to die. He was like, nope, keep me alive.
He outlived the dream. He outlived the dream.
Exactly. And that was fascinating to his name is, I can't think, the one who gave him that ability to, live long, being immortal. Dream. It was fascinating. Yeah, it was fascinating to him because he was like, wait, so you still want to live long even after going through that, even after experiencing that? Because he was like basically like enjoying it because it's like he's learning. And he's a new version of himself each time he's alive. So that one to me really got to me too. Yeah. Because he did it as a joke. He said, okay, let me see how long he'll like this. But really he was like, oh, I love it. Regardless of me.
They had a date every time. The only time they couldn't fulfill the date is when he got captured for 100 years. And he couldn't meet the guy.
Right.
Right. He couldn't meet him on the date that they were supposed to meet, and come to find out that was because he was captured for that 100 years. Somebody
what about when
the dream catcher, right?
Remember when Dream withdrew though? He went away. I don't remember it all because I got to rewatch it. But he said something that offended the dream.
About being friends. He thought they were friends.
Being friends. Yeah.
Right. But the only reason, because he's like, if you come back, then we're friends. If you don't come back, then I know we're not friends. But the only reason he couldn't come back because he had got caught. It wasn't because they wasn't friends. It was because he had got captured for 100 years.
Right.
And then when he finally got released, he met up with him and said, I guess we really are friends.
Yes. Yeah. And he see how his face got turned up when he said that friend. It was like he offended him. I was like, I'm not your friend.
Thank you, Janae. Thank you for joining. Have an excellent day, Janae. Thank you.
Yeah, but
it was like he was offended that you reduced me to your level.
To your level, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I really love this show. I like the cinematography of the show. The whole thing is really good. Like the kingdoms, how they show the kingdoms, and it's just the cinematography of it is really good. The one that really got to me is the episode is when, and I'm gonna drop down to this, but when the lover that he had, and he sent her away and had her captured. Did you get that far?
Yes.
The girl. And sent her away. She was in hell
or something.
For 10,000 years. 10,000 years.
10,000 years in hell.
But come to find out, she chose it.
Yeah.
She chose it. She's like, I have to suffer for my kingdom, I guess.
For my kingdom, yeah. Because she felt it was her fault that she fell in love with Dream and that came to her people, But still in all, that one really got to me. I was like, what? But it was
The fact that
really good.
Lucifer gave up his office, her office. The Morning Star was like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna give you the key. I'm gonna give you the keys to hell. He gave the keys to hell, the keys of hell to Dream.
The Dream.
He said, "No, I'm done. I ain't doing this no more." I'm like, not you giving up your office as
as the rule of hell. Like what the world? Yeah, it was crazy. I really was shocked on that point. I was like, what? She was like, I'm done. You can have it all.
And what about
But
Cain
yeah.
and Abel? He kept killing him, and he would come back to life.
How many times
Yeah.
did Abel get slaughtered for real? Like,
This one time. But to me, I feel like they were stuck in the same dream. That's why it kept playing over and over. You think that's why it kept playing out like that, because it was the same dream?
we're only Abel gets slaughtered in the story.
Right.
So it has to be him. Because they could have, because you see, they didn't slaughter Cain. They could have slaughtered Cain. They always seem to slaughter Abel.
Yeah.
Anytime Cain felt like it, he would just slaughter him. Just anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a true hothead. But yeah, it was
and not the kindlies, the three kindlies being called, being vengeance, called kindlies. The kindlies? How is they named kindlies and they're all about vengeance? It's like, because supposedly once you spill blood, which is what, well, I guess if y'all want to watch, I ain't going to get too much away because we already gave a lot away.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I haven't finished,
That's a good
I'm
show.
on third season. I don't know how many episodes they have on the third season, but yeah, it's an hour-long show. So yeah, and it's good if you can stand it. It's good. I like
So
it.
did you understand why I said it took me a while to watch it? Because I would rewind.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear the conversation again, and then you want to ponder it. Yeah, it's really, really.
I got to rewatch it because a lot of times I will be binge watching it, so I'll be falling asleep on it.
Yeah.
I'll wake up like, damn, I missed some of that whole episode, but I would just keep letting it play. So I'm probably going to rewatch them again, because it really is a good show. And it really is about the mind. I was like, this is the adult version to Inside Out, the cartoon, right? Because the Inside Out is Riley is a hockey player, and she has all the emotions, in her head. I forgot, it's a command center, right? So you have joy, you have anger, you have envy, you have sadness, right? So all of those characters. And then the second one, when she grows up and enters puberty, now she has a new set of emotions that come to the forefront. And the new set of emotions, is it anxiety? I think anxiety. She tries, she wants to get rid of the old emotions. I enjoy you up out of here. Sadness, you got to go. Envy, it's like, so it's a really good cartoon to show you how, again, your thinking produces your emotions, and then your emotions bring forth these experiences. It's all out there. The information is out there. They're not hiding it from us. It's just that to those that can see and those that can hear what the Spirit is saying unto the church's will. Yes, Divinely Honest says those D names sound like what we all have to overcome in this world. Mastering our emotions, that's it. That's it. Mastering, self-mastery. It's all self-mastery. But this was another wonderful live. I know we kind of got off the book a little bit, but it's all about manifestation. It all works together, right? It all works together.
Yes, this was all the lives are great, but this is one of the one of the pillars of great lives. This one is this is the one to listen, one of the ones to listen to a couple of more times. Yes. To get the richness, especially when you were speaking about, well, I don't know, the last half an hour or so, or the last 45 minutes are really rich. I just can't wait to listen to it again.
Love it. Yeah, so much revelation, and everyone's sharing, and perspective. It's always beautiful. I definitely appreciate everyone that shares and comes up, especially when we're sharing the bouts that we may be having with anything that we want to actualize in our experience. And when you can be, vulnerable in where we may be falling short, because that's when the Bible says, confess your sins one to another, right? So we can help one another, because when you, and the sin is only missing the mark. When you're missing your aim, your goal, and why you may be feeling that is something that's keeping you from actualizing what it is you want. And to be transparent, to say, yeah, this area, I need a little bit more understanding, right? Because in all thy getting, get an understanding, overstanding, understanding, stand in, stand upon, stand over, however you want to say it, right? That, once you can say what it is, once you can pinpoint it, what it is, then you can change it, right? Because that's what it is. Awareness is key. You can't change anything you're not aware of, right? That's why knowledge is power. When you know what it is, then you can set about to change what it is, if what it is you don't like. And that's what I was dealing with myself. I'm like, okay, yes, there's some fears, because I was going to the scripture that said, let the weak man say I'm strong, right? And so you got to say, let the fearful man say I am love. And then that's what kept ringing in my, that love is the principal key. That love is the only transforming power. That you love yourself so much, you're going to allow yourself to have the courage to confront whatever it is you claim has some type of power over you. When in actuality, nothing has power over you. You are the love that transforms everything in your reality.
My first unity teacher, Jack Bowen, at church, unity teacher, said that the Bible, when they were doing translation, that the word, everywhere you see the word fear, really should be the word love. That, you hear people say, I'm a
except
God.
for what says love is torment. I think you want to leave fear
Right.
there. I think you want to leave fear there, right?
Yeah, well, you have to be discerning, of course.
Yeah.
Geez, I forgot my thought. But yeah, like when you hear people say, I'm a God-fearing person, and I'm a God-loving person. What I'm gonna be scared of God for? That's the only thing I don't have to be scared of. Shit.
Because they love to say that, because again, the translations and how, like, we're in modern English, right? And you're using old English to try to reference how to have a relationship with yourself, because that's really who God is, yourself, right? So,
right.
And when people quote in the scripture, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and they
right.
really do want people to be afraid of God, to be
scared
of God.
Scared.
But if you just did a little bit more studying, you did a little bit more translating, you recognize that word fear means to be in awe of or to reverence. It does not mean to be afraid of or scared.
Scared of my creator. Jesus Christ.
Because when you take it literal and you're reading some of these things like the jealousy of God, the wrath of God, right? We were convinced that God was a punisher. And so, yes, who wants to be punished by the Creator? Because we're hearing these stories. Don't you know somebody touched, what was the Ark of the Covenant? To keep it from falling, his ass got struck down. Like, you like, what the hell? No, I don't want God striking me down because I did something. I thought I was doing a good deed by trying to make sure it would, the person was trying to make sure that it didn't fall, and him reaching out his hand to steady it, instant death. But then it's like, we suspend reason, we suspend judgment, and we're just told, nope, you got to take the Bible at face value. You got to take it literal, and God don't play. If God give you a command and you don't honor it, look to be punished by him. And the thing is, the law does not punish you.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. The punishment is coming from yourself.
Yes.
You believe in punishment. So
yes.
You get to, like when they talk about the God, they quote Paul about God chastens those whom he loves. And though the chastening of the Lord does not seem, good, or I forgot the terminology he used at the present moment, you know, you'll, or like you have to suffer through it. But chastening does not mean to be punished. It means to be corrected. Correction. And so, yes, a lot of times the correction may not seem good at the present moment, but it is for the betterment of what you want, because you do, if you're going the wrong way, you do want to be put back on track, right? If you fall off, if you're falling off, or you're getting away from your desire, you do want to be, you do want to course correct. And that's all the law does. The law shows you where you have gotten off the beaten path and to put you back on it. Yep. Fear is torment. That's what it is. It torments you. It keeps you from realizing your desires. Yep. They say they manipulate the Bible. Buddhism, Hinduism, pretty much all in essence teach the same thing in different ways, but the Bible was manipulated. Well, Hinduism and Buddhism was manipulated too, because if they took those teachings literal. We try to uphold Eastern teachings as though they didn't also sway from the truth. They did. They believe in karmic debt. They believe that people that are poor should not seek to get out of that office of poverty, just like they did in Christianity. They did the same thing. They manipulate their people too, those when they don't teach it from an esoteric perspective. You got a lot of Hindus and Buddhists thinking that their lot in life is to be poor, and that they better not try to figure out how to get out of that, or they better be careful of how they're showing up in the world, because when they reincarnate, they may come back and be a cockroach or something. They operate in fear too. They fearmonger too. I saw videos of them also going into those trances and looking like they were possessed, and they supposedly, it didn't look too differently from when I was part of a deliverance ministry. So, we got to stop putting these religions on pedestals. Any organized religion that make you thinking that the power is some external to you, all got issues. All of them do. Yep. See, they believe in reincarnation as punishment. So they all have this sense of punishment coming from an external source. All religion. Yeah, because here's the thing, we all have the true religion is what you're being bound to, right? So we all have a religion. It means to bind. What are you bound to? You should be bound in love. You should be bound by love. But I'm go ahead and end the live. It's like Miss Kitty said, and everyone else has concurred that it was a wonderful, wonderful live. Thank you guys for your sharing, your perspective. I really, really do believe we all received something great from this talk, from this discussion. Next week will be on prayer. Prayer, chapter 3 by Neville Goddard. The feeling is the secret. That should be another great discussion. His perspective of what he's saying prayer is, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to figure out what works for us, right? And so we're all trying different avenues to see what resonates, and remembering who we are. As they say, know thyself. Know what you need to do to transform your reality. That's all it comes down to. What does it take for you to accept the reality of the thing you want to experience? And it really does come to a decision. There's many ways to come about that decision. Some people may write it down. Some people may visualize. Some people may meditate. Some people may pray. It's all different ways that you can decide that this works for you. This helps you understand and come to an agreement, right? Because that's what you're coming to, an agreement. Your decision is agreeing to the thing that you want, you already have. And so See you guys next week. Okay, well, Monday I know we'll be back for relationship talk. Wednesday, manifesting Wednesdays, and then next Saturday, we'll be discussing chapter 3 on prayer. You can catch the recap on YouTube. I'll make sure I put it in the playlist so you can easily find it. If you're looking for extra inspiration to have free manifestation ebooks, the link tree is in my bio. If you're, but all inspiration comes from within, of course. We know this. All inspiration comes from within. But that's why I give it for free, because it's all coming from within thee. And everything we have out here. I know some things you have to pay for, you be charged for. We should at least have something in life that there is no fee. Right? Like, for all the things we have to pay for, something in life should be for free, right? Why not? Something in life should be, all the things you got to pay for water, you got to pay for food, you got to, right? You got to pay for solar energy, like all the stuff we got to pay for. You can have at least one thing that can be for free. So that's my gift from you to you. From me to you, that's my gift. That's free. But until next time, guys, happy manifesting. Enjoy life. Be easy with yourself. Extend grace to yourself. Be merciful with yourself. And most of all, love yourself. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.